see if this is working. Oh yeah, that's working. All right, at least the buttons are working. All right, we're back. It's been a while.
Been a couple weeks.
Yeah, been out of town, dude. Fucking working like crazy. How loud is the mic? It looks like it's doing all right. You can hear everything pretty well?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I forgot the pieces to plug my headphones in, so I can't tell what everybody's hearing.
And you forgot his headphones.
Yeah, dude. You know, like when you don't do something for so long, you just start losing the capacity to do it.
Yeah.
So what's been going on, Otto?
I've just been working. Like I told you, I got that new job.
Yeah.
It's like my 4th week there, so I'm not so new, but today I was at the farm all day, basically.
Where's this farm at?
Past Mona Springs.
I don't know.
It's like past, you go past Pinnacle Mountain.
Oh, okay.
It's
Oh,
out
yeah,
there.
it's out there a little bit.
Yeah, the farm name is Moss Mountain Farm.
That's dope. Oh, you were sending me pictures of it. Yeah, that's pretty sick.
It's nice, yeah. I was there last weekend, last Saturday, I worked, and we were planting daffodil bulbs, and those will be springing in March. Hopefully, it looks nice.
Yeah.
Usually, it looks nice. That's an expensive ass like tour for that place. I hear he charged like $200 a tour for that place.
Really?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Well, is it nice? Like, is it nice like that?
Yeah, it's a nice farm. Yeah, like the farmhouse is beautiful. The little guest house is nice. I think they're building some like, it seems like Airbnb houses. Like it's like two little. It's like they look like apartments, kind of ish.
Yeah.
This dude, the owner, I don't know if I should say the name of the company.
Well, I mean, you said the name of the farm, but.
It's farm, alright, so we'll just let the chat, do some detective work. But the owner's filthy fucking rich from what I've heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's nice though. He's a nice guy.
That's dope.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
A little, he's a workaholic though, for sure. Cause when I work
Most of those people are, dude. The people who actually have like legitimate money are usually just fucking working their ass off all the time.
Yeah.
You ready for the beer review already?
I was gonna say, I'm ready to crack this.
Yeah, let's go ahead and hit the button. Hit the main. Hit the main button again. Get it back on.
Nobody got hurt. Nobody got hurt, right? But
he said that shit was fucking funny.
here, let me draw you a picture of how it went down, right? I'm gonna draw it on the back of here. So.
Too bad we have no camera.
So you have it's a intersection, right? I'm drawing you the pictures right here. Here's the lights. Light. And then you got the roads coming down here, right? You got traffic coming over this way, and going that way.
Yeah.
So it's a little intersection, and then you got the interstate ramp right over here. You got going over there.
Can't believe you brought fucking 5.2% alcohol.
Bro, you said I was. It's a fucking beer review, damn it. We're trying new beers. Can't just keep drinking Voodoo Rangers every time. Anyway, so I'm coming here, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to a gas station that's over here. And some bitch, right, so keep in mind, like, traffic's heavy, right? It's in the morning. And everybody's trying to get to Little Rock. That's in Cabot, by the way.
Okay.
So I'm trying to go straight, and then some bitch here is trying to turn left onto the interstate. And traffic was so heavy that, like, this shit was just, like, congested. Because sometimes, people will be nice enough and leave, like, a space here for people to go.
Yeah.
Anyways, I guess she thought that she had a space to go, and so, like, as she was turning, a car did not fucking stop. So this car right here, and she fucking hits the car, like, just like bumper. And, like, she hits it, and her car kind of, like, turns around. It's funny, because as soon as she does it, I'm seeing it happen. As soon as she hits, she goes like this. She covers up her face, like,
yeah.
So anyways, I'm like, damn, that sucks. Because traffic's already heavy as it is, and you just make it worse.
Just caused an accident out here.
Anyways, the funny part is, I get to the gas station, and I look back at the crime scene, and the car she hit is an undercover cop, bro.
The lights came on immediately.
Right, like the blue lights were on, bro. And I'm telling you, like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, God damn, how unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate. What do you got for the aroma with this beer? fruity, citrusy, and hay.
I'm about to snort this thing. We'll give it a little hay smell. Although I've been working with hay in there all day today.
It's just stuck up there.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, but you get a fucking undercover cop, and then they just kind of do it out of proportion. It's kind of like a little fender bender or bumper to bumper type deal.
Yeah.
But nah, dude, the whole fucking Cabot police force, all fucking 5 of them were out there.
That's retarded.
They got the fucking fire department out there too, slowing the traffic. Luckily, the way I was going, there was no traffic.
Yeah. This is beer number 5, you said?
Shoot.
Do you have the binder or the?
It's in my car.
Okay. Just making sure because I was like, I definitely don't have it. But I give it a 3-star. It's alright.
Put 5, yeah, I'll put 5 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beer.
It's alright.
I'm trying to get this aroma though. It's like, what if I get the first taste of a skunky aroma?
I mean, this is like a good. I can smell some skunk in there
Right,
for sure.
some
Yeah.
skunkiness in there. Don't put skunk.
This may be the first like piss beer worth drinking.
It's crisp though.
Shock top Belgian white. It's actually pretty good. Only 5.2%.
Oh, we got fucking 15 caser here, so
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna pound these bitches.
You might get a little hammered. Who knows?
I'll give it 3.5 stars just because I didn't have much expectation for it.
I'm very glad I brought my vape juice because I'm running low.
I'm glad I brought these black miles. I almost forgot. Taste though, fruity, crisp. Yeah, you know what? That's my beer review.
There you go.
Sign that bitch. We're gonna be finished.
Oh, yeah. We might be.
All viewers out there, how many we got? Where's Chad at? I can't see.
We got one viewer.
Oh, wait,
It's
wait.
possibly me. But so I'm gonna talk about drugs this whole episode.
Let's get into it.
All right.
So I saw, what's his name? Morrilton. Very funny
Hamilton
name.
Morris.
Oh, right. Hamilton, I'm Morrilton.
Yeah.
Okay, Morrilton.
Hamilton Morris.
I
You
guess
just
he's
combine
from-
the two names.
Is he British?
No, dude, he's from New York.
Okay. Because I saw the drug classroom one. Is the guy who hosted that one, is he British?
Yeah, I don't know much about that channel. That was just a good episode that he had with Hamilton.
I only gave that one listen. I listened to the Joe Rogan one twice just to make sure.
He's done 3 on Joe's show.
Yeah, like the one I listened to, they alluded to the one they did before. Where
It got too high, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's not that good, but because they just got too high.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
so you said you want to talk about sin cans, huh? Synthetic
dude.
cannabinoids.
Is that like Spice and K2 and all that stuff?
Yeah, like K2 is probably the most well known, but like the OG ones are like JWH18. Have you heard of that one?
Mm-mm.
So cannabis partially agonizes the CB1 and CB2 receptors, and then you have drugs like K2 that fully agonize it. But then you have ones like JWH18 and the other JWHs that partially agonize it, like cannabis.
What do you mean partially? Like partially?
It doesn't fully activate the receptor. So whenever you're talking about drugs in general, like you have like antagonists, agonists, or partial agonists, and there's like modulators and shit like that as well. But the antagonists are things that block the receptor completely, and then you like there have been some treatments for some of the heart risks that come with cannabis that are just antagonists at the CB1 and 2 receptor, but they fuck with the high, so people usually they never stuck on too well, and they also cause like what's the eating disorder where you don't eat, the anorexia? Yeah, and it'll cause anorexia and anxiety, insomnia. Those drugs will. Basically, they just do the opposite thing that weed does, yeah. But the partial agonists, they still activate the receptor, but they just do not fully activate it. So if you take a drug like heroin, it fully activates the mu opioid receptor, and then you take a drug like kratom or mitragynine, which is in, yeah, Tom. And then mitragynine only partially agonizes that receptor and a few others. It's a little bit more complex with kratom than just that, but that's the general gist of it.
Yeah.
And before, there was shit like K2 and like A and B Fubenica out there. A B Fubenica's a weird one, dude.
They talk about that one? I think that sounds
I don't know. They might have. We
brought
might have
it
talked
up.
about it before.
Maybe.
But it has like an extremely short duration. So like you smoke it and 30 minutes later you're like completely sober again.
That would suck.
It gets you like stoned to the gills for 30 minutes,
Yeah.
and then you sober up. But before drugs like that came around, we didn't know that the cannabinoid system could actually be addictive and lethal to activate until people started dying and getting severely addicted to these other substances. Yeah. Like, cannabis is addictive, but it's not to the same level as like K2.
It's not lethal.
And you'd have to really do some stupid shit to die
Yeah.
from cannabis, you know? Like, I'm sure you could essentially overdose on it, and
A lot of it though, like a lot.
probably like your body weight.
Before you pass out, you know.
Yeah.
Before you fall asleep.
And I think the only like real risks cannabis has is like overuse of it can cause the misfiring of the CB1 receptor, which this is actually pretty interesting. People who have like chronic obesity, their CB1 receptor is almost never working correctly. It's like too active, it's doing too much, being activated too often by the endogenous system. And even if they have never smoked weed, they have that issue. But if you smoke too much weed, you can also have that issue. So there is like a link between over smoking and obesity, and not just from getting hungry from smoking, but because it actually kind of fucks with that system if you overdo it. And then it also inflames like arteries around your heart, which raise the risk of heart attack and fucking sudden heart failure.
Smoking too much weed does?
Yeah.
They also said something about like how people who smoke too much weed get like nauseated.
Oh yeah,
Like
cannabis
hot shower.
hypermesis syndrome.
Yeah, and hot showers will help them out.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. 'Cause that also happens with Syncans if you overdo it with those too. So it's something inherent about that particular system and activating it that can cause you to vomit uncontrollably.
Like how much weed
You
do you have to smoke though? 'Cause I feel like I smoke.
I had a tentative diagnosis of it myself at one point, but it turned out that wasn't the reason I was throwing up so much. I just had a lot of scar tissue in my esophagus, and it was fucking everything up. But I don't think you have to smoke. I don't think it affects everyone. I don't know if we've been able to really determine what the like controlling factors are for getting it. But I don't think if you're someone who is susceptible to it, I don't think you'd have to smoke like as much as you would expect them to have to smoke.
Susceptible to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I haven't seen evidence that anyone can get it. There seems to be a genetic or gut biome issue that goes hand in hand with it.
Yeah, 'cause like I smoked for like 5 years straight, damn near.
Never had a problem.
No.
And I don't think it affects everyone. I have a feeling that it'll be based off like how badly you eat.
Yeah.
And like your gut biome's pretty finicky. So if you start kind of fucking with it and then adding weed onto it, if you already have like irritable bowel syndrome or just like various shit like that going on in your stomach, like maybe you have a higher chance of getting hypermesis from cannabis. But I don't know. It just pops up with some people and not with others. Yeah.
If you just smoking and you're just like, oh man, I gotta throw up.
Yeah.
You just don't stop.
The reason I got like tentatively diagnosed with it is because I would stop throwing up when I took a hot shower. Like it worked every time. Like I'd get in a hot shower and I'd feel better, and as soon as I'd get out, I'd be throwing up again.
Ugh.
But turned out to not be from weed, just a fucking issue I had down there. Had to have somebody go in there and fucking do some work to my esophagus, and I stopped throwing up.
Were you asleep for that?
No,
No.
I don't think so. What? Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say,
No.
you just shove shit down your throat while you woke
No.
up. You freaked.
Yeah. It was one of those things where it's like I was awake 1 second,
Oh,
and then awake another second, and it was done. So I don't feel like anything happened, but yeah.
Damn. I know that happened.
Pretty recently, like 2 years ago, maybe. Yeah.
What was 2 years ago? 2021?
Yeah.
Like COVID, huh?
Yeah.
Damn. You get the COVID vaccine? Were you vaccinated?
Yeah. I didn't get a booster or anything, but I got both of the shots.
Yeah.
Unless my job requires me to, which would be understandable because we travel a lot.
Right.
I mean, I don't need it. I have heart issues, but other than that, I'm pretty healthy.
That shit's shady.
Do I?
You don't think it's shady? The
No.
vaccine? No.
Mm-mm.
Have you seen about all the athletes collapsing?
There's no evidence that was from the COVID vaccine.
Well, like, you don't think it's shady how like the numbers have gone up and athletes under
I'm not
30?
really convinced they've gone up.
You don't think so?
Not that significantly.
I saw a graph and like it just shot up since the COVID vaccine dropped.
Okay, I mean, let's assume that's true. How many of those people had COVID as well? You know what I mean? That's an important question. Because it's just like, if you're gonna pin it all on the COVID vaccine, then you should probably make sure they didn't have COVID before.
I was gonna say, I've been seeing a lot of propaganda against it, like people saying like, oh, it causes blood clots and this
All
and that.
vaccines have risks.
Yeah.
All of them. So this one's not any different. This one may have some, like maybe have some more risks, but I don't know if I've seen any like convincing evidence for that.
Yeah.
It causes myocarditis, but so
What's
does the virus, like swelling around the heart, from what I understand. Inflammation of the heart, I think. Hell, I could be wrong about that. Something like that. Something to do with the heart.
Yeah.
But COVID causes it worse though. So it's like you gotta kind of pick and choose what you're gonna run the higher risk of getting COVID, which you may or may not get. You'd probably get it.
I got it.
Yeah, I got it.
When I got it, I went on a lake trip with Seth, Trevor, and Flake, with Coach Steve. Coach Steve added us out to the lake, added his lake at us, and I had COVID. I didn't tell anybody either, dude. It was funny because all my symptoms were just like loss of sense, just loss of smelling and tasting. And we were on the lake, like towards the end of the day, and Seth goes, "Ooh, you smell that?" I go, "What?" He goes, "Somebody's cooking hamburgers." I was like, "Oh yeah, you're right. I do smell that." I was faking that shit.
What a bastard, dude.
I know, bro. I felt so bad too. Like before I went on the trip, I was like,
Coach Steve's a smoker too.
Mm-hmm.
Bastard, bro. At least he's alive.
I think he works for Amazon though, so they might have made him get the vaccine. I think he's an Amazon driver.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, I remember that shit. I was like, man, I should probably tell somebody. I didn't.
That's illegal.
Yeah, that's invasive if they ask me, "Are you sick?" That's none of your business. Am I sick? No. Maybe.
That's fucking funny as hell. Just out here lying about having COVID, bro.
Yeah.
What a bastard.
I didn't lie. I just didn't, come out with it.
Lying by omission.
I just didn't say I had it.
Excuse me.
Man, what I would do for some MDMAs.
MDMA.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite drug you've ever done?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Oh, I don't know. I would like to do some acid too. It's been a while since I've done any other drugs since weed. And I haven't smoked weed since New Year's. Just because, I don't know, weed kind of got old.
Yeah, weed gets old.
My anxiety.
To some people, some people love it forever,
Yeah.
but...
No, I got to the point where I stopped smoking because, first of all, in this economy, I can't afford it. And then because I thought my new job was gonna drug test me. They didn't. I guess I don't know why they put that on the application, but they
Just to
haven't.
fucking... Probably just so they can protect themselves if you get in an accident and then they can drug test you.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I stopped smoking, and then I was like, the first few days were hard, First few days quitting anything's hard. But then I was just
I
like,
never had a problem.
quitting.
Not weed. Nicotine was a whore.
Yeah, I'm
Sobering up from alcohol. Whenever I went through that bad, just year-long binge.
Yeah.
After I sobered up from that, that one sucked. Got the shakes and shit. But the hardest one, like the most annoying one to quit, was definitely nicotine, though.
Yeah.
Just because it's so like when I watch a movie, even when I wasn't drinking and someone was drinking in the movie, I was never like, oh, I want to drink. But when I quit nicotine, every time someone smoked a cigarette in a movie, I was just like, oh, I need a cigarette.
Yeah.
Every time, dude. But alcohol never did that to me for whatever reason.
I think I'm the opposite. I'll see somebody drinking, and I'll be like, ooh.
You want to really?
I'm trying to pull up. then I see somebody smoke, unless I'm drinking, I'm like, nah. But if I'm drinking, I'm like, ooh, a cigarette right now would be nice.
Yeah. No, I love drinking with cigs, dude. It's the best.
So I got these Black and Milds for just because I know I'm gonna want some.
I'm probably not gonna smoke a Black and Mild.
Hey man, I didn't offer you one.
It's got the wine flavor.
I don't know where you're getting at. I always get those. I don't know what other flavor to get.
How about just no flavor? How about you smoke a real cigar?
Stogies.
Yeah, dude, just smoke a real cigar.
I was gonna message. I was like, do you have any Stogies?
Dude, I have probably like 10 of them.
On you?
Nah, I mean we can. Andy has some. He doesn't
Nah,
care.
I already got these.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like them. I like the aesthetic. I think the wood tip looks cool. I swear to God, it's more of an aesthetic than. That's why I don't get cigarettes.
See, I like just a fucking thick ass cigar.
Yeah.
It feels like Winston Churchill in this motherfucker out here.
Little pudgy ass man.
Yeah,
little
man.
balding.
That dude's a legend.
He's a little pussy, but he is.
Didn't he serve in World War One?
I think so. But
Like as an infantryman, like a tough bastard.
yeah, but he's still a little pussy.
Is he? I don't know anything about his political views or whatever. I don't know.
Not me either. I'm just saying shit.
Yeah.
I was watching Shane Gillis did a like this long ass podcast. It's like split into 4 or 5 parts with Louis C.K. They were talking about like the presidents in order, like what they did or like something interesting about them. Was it FDR was president during World War II? I don't know, I'm not a history buff at all. Like I suck with that.
FDR did the New Deal. I think he.
Teddy. It was one of the Roosevelts who was
I don't
during
know.
World War II.
Let's look it up.
Anyways, whichever one of them, I remember them talking about how they were meeting with Stalin, right? So they were like, we need your help against the Nazis.
Yeah, FDR.
Yeah, and so like they took Stalin out to dinner, and during dinner, like Roosevelt leans over to Stalin and goes, "Look at Churchill. Look what a little small round man he is."
Really?
Yeah, and then like Stalin just like shocked and starts cackling, busts out laughing. And Churchill did not like that shit at all.
I'm sure he didn't.
He did not like being the butt of that joke. But he threw him under the bus, but they needed Stalin's support. And they got it from that, they got it because he threw his friend under the bus.
Yeah.
Friend, I say friend. I don't know what the relationship was. You think they did drugs?
Certainly.
Oh, you're right.
Like, certainly. Like, all presidents do drugs.
And I don't mean like cigars, alcohol.
No, I mean,
like drugs,
I mean, JFK famously had a doctor who would prescribe him amphetamine and meth. And I feel like they have no problem with that. Like, you need to be awake to be the president, and it's got to be hard to work all that without a stimulant. And caffeine's just not going to cut it after a while.
Trump's on diet pills, huh? Or he was on diet pills.
Yeah, I mean, he was. Fenfluramine.
I didn't know
think there
that.
was some other ones that
I
they
didn't know
talked
it was like
about, but
Stimulant. Is that like a stimulant?
well, I mean, it's very closely related to meth. Most diet pills are, or amphetamine in general. Just phenethylamine stimulants tend to suppress your appetite, so that's the way they tend to go with diet pills. And yeah, I mean, there was a diet pill that like a lot of people I work with were on, and you could tell like they had a lot more energy, usually a little more cranky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're definitely stimulating. Because I mean, you can only if you're only gonna make like minuscule changes to an amphetamine molecule, it's still most likely gonna do the same thing to your brain and to the periphery. Like, although there is a drug that is an opioid in the periphery, like it slows your GI tract, it does all of the physical aspects of opioids, but it never enters the brain. So there's like people have been trying to use them to like wean off of opioids. Like they're not getting high, but they're also not facing like horrendous diarrhea and shit like that, because it's still doing everything to their body it would, just without entering the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are some examples of like pretty incredible feats of medicinal chemistry creating drugs that can do everything outside of the brain that drugs that affect your brain do.
Mm-hmm.
So I doubt the diet pills are that advanced, just based off their structure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I showed you fenfluramine, which is one of the ones he was accused of being on, as if it was explicatory of anything, or I definitely.
People are like, he's on that meth diet. Like, no, you would tell. You would know if he was on that meth diet.
He essentially kind of was. Let me show you something.
Like he's like not a crackhead, going to the gym and lifting the weight equipment.
Not everyone who uses meth does that.
Yeah.
Not even the majority of people who use meth do that.
What did Morrison call it? Like pharmaceutical something or?
Pharmacological determinism,
Yeah, that.
where every drug has to affect everyone the same way.
Right.
And how it's just like obviously not true to anyone who's ever done drugs.
Man, yeah, the best example of that I can come up with is when we all did
Yeah.
But I don't know. You smoked weed and I told you not to.
Yeah, that was a bad.
I advise.
It was only bad for like 40 minutes, and then.
Trust, yeah, especially during the come up. If
Yeah.
you're high on weed during the come up, you're gonna be in your head.
Yes.
With thought loops, because you just can't help it. And I feel bad, but at the same time, I feel real good.
It's hard not to feel good on Molly unless you got one of the guys you're tripping with asking you if are we sure it's Molly? That's a dangerous question to ask someone in that state of mind. It's too easy to freak out. So this is fenfluramine, which is what people were saying. And I'm sure he was taking it, but the reason I'm bringing that up.
How do we find out that things are like structured like that? Like, what do they do to find out that something has all them elements in it?
Just like GCMS, gas chromatography, mass spectrometer, spectroscopy, whatever.
I was thinking about that on the way over here. I was like, I wonder how they.
Yeah, I mean that is something I've never like fully understood either. I think I don't know. I have no idea. I know it has to do with like GCMS usually can tell you what all is in there, and then people who have studied how chemicals and molecules bond draw up these structures.
Is it like balancing equations? Like they do that shit like if I
Essentially,
add,
probably, yeah.
If I add this to this, and then if the reaction goes as planned, I should have this left over with that.
Yeah.
I feel like what's a little times HCl?
That is the hydrochloride. So this is probably in a salt or pill form, and that's just the base of it. Hydrochloride. So like if you look at pretty much any prescription you have, it'll probably have hydrochloride somewhere on there because it's the base of the substance you're taking. That's what gives it the physical structure of it.
After this, you should look up bromine dragonfly.
Bromo dragonfly.
Yeah, I didn't see what that one looked like.
That's a pretty cool structure. And then here's meth. So I probably should have made the comparison a little quicker so you can remember. So basically you have this, and the only real difference is I don't think this is on the fenfluramine molecule, and then back here there's a CF3 chain. And so essentially you're not going to have that much of a difference between the effects of these two molecules.
Wait, what's the other one again?
This is fenfluramine, the diet pill, and then this is methamphetamine.
Oh.
Yeah, so everything's pretty much the same. Except one, really just this, right? Yeah,
the CF3.
And so that.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, that's what'll give it the stimulating properties of most diet pills, because they're all kind of based after.
But okay, so adding that little extra CF to it, what does that like change overall? Like.
I have a feeling it probably doesn't have much of a pharmacological effect at all.
So why add it on there?
So it's not meth, and you can sell it.
Okay, yeah, that's a good reason, I guess.
Yeah.
Man. Is meth Schedule 1?
Schedule 2.
What the fuck is the difference, do you know?
Schedule 1 supposedly has no medical uses and has high abuse potential.
High enjoyment potential.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, see, this is still phenethylamine. Methamphetamine's phenethylamine. Amphetamine's a phenethylamine. Most stimulating drugs are phenethylamines for the most part. Like, obviously, LSD can be stimulating to people, but MDMA is a methamphetamine derivative. Cocaine is a phenethylamine. Most of the enjoyable stimulants that people take regularly are based on, mescaline is a phenethylamine. You were asking me about that earlier. That's what's in peyote.
I remember that. And
Peyote.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is way too smart.
Used to be sold in yeah.
What is it, like that, cocaine and
morphine, I think, or codeine.
It was morphine, I think.
Yeah.
That sounds like fucking gold mine.
Yeah, before 1970, all drugs were legal.
Yeah.
You could just buy them. Like there was no challenge to possessing them. Like there was a lab in northern San Francisco making, I think, 2,000 grams a week of MDA and just selling it.
What's the difference between that and MDMA?
And MDMA is methylene dioxymethamphetamine, and MDA is methylene dioxyamphetamine.
Oh, okay.
So it's the same thing, just without the meth.
Yeah. Okay.
MDA is supposedly more psychedelic, causes more visuals, has more affinity with the 5-HT2A receptor, which is like the psychedelic receptor that LSD, psilocybin, DMT, all those drugs target. So supposedly you get a little more trippy. But I think it still does like the serotonin dump and all of that, so you still get the same like Molly feeling. But it's just slightly more psychedelic in nature. And whenever you take high doses of MDMA, it actually converts into MDA in your brain, which is probably why we had a slightly more psychedelic experience the second time, because our scale was kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
And we took like 30 milligrams more than we wanted to.
Yeah, I remember
That also did not help the
situation.
anxiety.
Yeah.
Because you could feel the strength of, and it was like, ooh, this is more pure, and we took more. So
I remember just like the world getting brighter.
yeah.
Like what was it called? The saturation of the world.
Just increasing a little bit, like all the colors had a little more significance. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you had freaking Seth. I mean,
Just
freaking
panic, dude. Panic was in that man's eyes. And
I
now,
felt so bad. I felt like I knew I shouldn't feel bad, but I couldn't feel bad. I was like, bro, chill out. I was like, do this with your arms.
Yeah.
It feels good.
everything kind of feels good on Molly, bro.
Standing around,
Yeah,
talking,
hitting the vape.
Oh man.
I've been trying to convince him, and maybe I need to convince you, that MDMA is really not that special. You need to do like mushrooms and
I'm down to
fucking
do that.
opioids before you
You
start.
You gotta convince him about psychedelics. He's scared of them for whatever reason.
Oh yeah, he says he doesn't want to, like, this is the fucking problem with people pushing their pharmacological determinism bullshit, is that every time you take mushrooms, you're gonna have this super introspective fucking deep experience.
Ego death.
Yeah, but if you take 1 or 2 grams of mushrooms, dude, you're gonna be fucking chilling.
Just microdose? Is that microdose?
No, microdose is like 1/10 of a gram. Like, you're still gonna trip a little bit, like you'll get some nice visuals, definitely probably more than we did on MDMA, but it's not gonna be anything outlandish. You're just gonna be like, ooh, feeling pretty good. And to me, every time I've done mushrooms, it's been very relaxing.
Yeah.
I've always had a chill time. I got uncomfortable once because I had like a playlist playing on my fucking Xbox, and I was just kind of laying in bed tripping because I was home alone. The girlfriend and everybody was gone at a wedding, and so I was just listening to this music, and then I started getting like real anxious out of nowhere, and I was like, dude, what the fuck is going on here, man? I've been chilling out.
Yeah.
And I looked at the TV, and it had the creepiest album cover I've ever seen on it. Just like, it was weird. And then I pressed B on my controller, and the music stopped, and I immediately felt better.
Yeah.
So it's just like small things in your environment can totally change how you're feeling in the moment, especially on mushrooms. But if you take a gram, I took like 4 grams that night, and that was the only time I got anxious or even thought about anything besides just chilling. But if you take 1 to 2 grams, dude, it's like it's just real nice, real chill.
Is that an
Everything's
overdose,
funny.
2 grams?
Yeah.
What's an eighth?
3.5 grams.
Okay.
Yeah. 3.5 grams is like a decent starter dose if you want to have a full-on like psychedelic experience. But if you just kind of want a taster of what shrooms do, then like 2 grams should probably be your max. Especially if you haven't like fully set up everything. Like if you haven't basically just been like, hey, don't call me, I'm gonna take some mushrooms, turning my phone off. Like if you haven't gone through all that and you're just chilling with some homies at the house and y'all are talking about ordering pizza and shit, then yeah, like 2 grams probably be your max. Because even on an eighth, it'd be fucking uncomfortable answering the door.
I bet.
Yeah, like that would be annoying. And probably kind of fuck everything up for about an hour.
Yeah.
Just weird energy. But on 2 grams, it'd be whatever. You'd probably just laugh a little bit too much.
I feel like every time I've done acid, like shit always goes down, or some shit always happens. I don't know. I feel like,
Yeah.
like last time I did it was at the cabin.
Yeah.
And shit went down.
Yeah, shit did go down at the
Shit
cabin.
went down. Really, I don't know. I guess it was just a scary scene, you know. Like it's just a dark cabin out in the middle of Missouri, no cell phone service, and then we see headlights.
Yeah.
And I know that kind of freaked us all out.
I was too drunk to get freaked out, dude. I was dying over there.
Yeah, your head was like in your lap the whole time.
Dude, I was fucking... Took like numerous shots of Jameson starting from like 10:30 that morning until at least midnight that night, and then it all just started coming up.
Yeah, it took you 3 hours to rally.
Dude, I'm surprised I didn't die.
Yeah. We were also going to get shot by some rednecks out there.
I wouldn't have cared, dude. I was far gone.
Right.
Just from there, fuck it, I'm dead. Here we go. Oh, that was a fine night.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. So what would be the next
Drug
that you would like,
want to do?
if you could get like any drug pure, like you know exactly what it is, and you know the exact purity, like what would it be? Ooh, excuse me. Yeah.
My mind goes to cocaine, but I hear that was like have like a short-term high. You gotta keep,
Yeah, you do gotta redose quite a bit.
and that would suck. Just
It's also, that's kind of the fun of it though too.
redosing.
Yeah, cause like the fucking surge of energy and euphoria you get is pretty dope. And then it's like slowly fading from like the first 5 minutes, and then like 30 minutes later you're pretty much down
Yeah, right.
and tired, and then you get, do some more, and it's kind of it's alright. It's alright to me. It's nothing special. It's a topical painkiller. So have you ever heard of lidocaine?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a derivative of cocaine.
Yeah. What's Novocaine?
It's also a derivative of I think Novocaine may be a derivative of lidocaine. I think.
But those are medicines, or
Yeah, cocaine's a medicine too. It's in
Well,
Schedule 2 as well. It has
I mean,
medical
like-
uses.
I mean like, what cocaine you're supposed to have?
Yeah.
Can you have lidocaine though?
Yeah, they have it at Kroger.
Really?
Yeah. It's never in like a snortable powder form,
You gotta
but
push it up.
no, it's in like a wax. You don't want to snort
Oh,
or eat
yeah.
that. It's got oils and fucking fats in it and shit. And
And if you take it, what?
no, you just rub it on your skin because it's a topical painkiller, like cocaine.
Oh, it just numbs it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's one of the weird parts of doing cocaine is whenever you do it, your whole mouth and throat just go completely numb. Yeah.
That'd be weird.
It's a little weird at first because you feel like you can't like swallow anything. Like you feel like I'm gonna choke on my fucking spit, dude. I can't swallow my spit. But it has the same like mechanisms as like meth and amphetamine. It's a lot shorter lasting, and the reasons for that are like you can just get into the half-life of cocaine and like signaling bias and like how it actually releases the neurotransmitters that it releases. But for the most part, it's just a short-lived, more intense meth. And then crack and cocaine are the exact same drug. There's no difference on the molecular level. It's just the route of administration difference.
Crack and meth?
No, crack and coke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I guess you smoke
crack,
it.
yeah, crack is just cocaine freebase or like ammoniated cocaine. So it's like comes in these big rocks that you can put in a pipe. 'Cause you can't really smoke a powder like cocaine.
Yeah.
So
You ever seen that meme that's like cokeheads looking at crackheads?
do what?
It's a meme. It's like cokeheads looking at crackheads.
Mm-mm.
Like, it's like some guy in a suit looking at some bum on the street.
Cokeheads looking at crackheads is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do cocaine, it'd probably be cheaper to get crack, but
Thanks for the advice, Mace.
it's the same
Yeah.
thing.
Coke-
But at the
this is
same
how
time,
you do, right?
if you're crack is a lot more intense because you're smoking it. It kicks in immediately, like as soon as you inhale. Pretty much, you're feeling it. Raises your body temperature, just like coke and crack. They all do the same thing. It's just one takes a little longer to kick in. It's not as intense. It's kind of like comparing like edible cannabis to smoking cannabis. It's like the edibles are less intense, last a little longer, but if you smoke it, you feel it pretty much immediately. So it's kind of the same thing. It's the same exact drug, just route of administration different. So if you were to inject cocaine in like a water formula or whatever it's called, and you inject cocaine, it'll bring on the same intensity and duration as smoking crack. But snorting it, I guess half-life kicks in, and your body flushes it out quicker, maybe with monoamine oxidase or something, and then you're back down and you need to do more. But the problem with that is, one, you are going to run the risk of getting addicted to the drug a lot quicker in terms of just total time than you would drugs that last a long time because you're constantly having to take more.
Right.
And God damn it, I forgot. Oh, like you're also raising like toxicity risks because you're taking so much more of the drug. You know what I'm saying? So if there are any issues with your heart, maybe 1 dose of cocaine won't do anything, and maybe even 5 won't. But if you're taking 25 in a day, then you're gonna have a higher risk of causing some problems down there. But the topical, I mean, cocaine is still in Schedule 2 because for LASIK eye surgeries, they rub a cocaine formula on your eyes before they start because it numbs everything completely. And you can also get it prescribed for cluster headaches.
Cocaine?
Yeah. And you get it in the powder form to snort, which is hilarious.
Really? They prescribe it? Damn.
It's pretty rare that happens.
For headaches?
Cluster headaches.
What's that? You just get like headaches often?
From what I understand, cluster headaches are just like super severe, kind of short-lived headaches that just fucking, you get them pretty regularly throughout the day or throughout the week.
Yeah.
So you're just constantly in pain pretty much.
Is there any way to prove it? Is there any way to prove that you're having one?
I doubt it.
So people be like, I think I'm having cluster headaches. I don't even have one.
Well, you'll probably get prescribed 85 other things before they move on to cocaine, so you can determine how willing you are to go through that process. But
Like, doc.
yeah.
Fuck the next 50.
Yeah, just give me some coke.
Yeah, give me cocaine, bro.
I know it'll work. I've done it.
I got pissed.
Go piss. Need to talk about legalization of drugs. Oh, we got 2 viewers. How y'all doing today? Leave something in the chat if you're feeling brave. You can talk about drugs. Ask a question about any drug, and I'll do my best to answer it. I've spent a lot of time studying drugs and their pharmacology and their effects. Uh-oh. Otto may be getting killed by dogs out there. Ah! My mother's friend is here. Is that a net?
Huh?
Was that a net?
I think so.
Yeah. Like, no?
I was like, it's Otto, actually. She doesn't know who I am, though, but now she does.
There you go.
What are you talking about? Legalization of drugs?
Yeah.
You think it's gonna happen? Well, isn't it in Oregon? Isn't it in Oregon or
It's
something?
decriminalized up there. It's not legal.
So what does it mean?
And I think,
No jail time?
no, I think it's only, I don't know if they decriminalized all drugs or just plant drugs. Let me look. The whole synthetic natural like dichotomy or whatever
Yeah.
is absolutely retarded.
Yeah, because you think that everything comes from the earth, so.
I mean, not even that. It's like synthetic drugs are without a doubt safer than natural drugs. And easier to manage.
I like the idea of having like senators, you know.
Oh, they did decriminalize all drugs. That's pretty cool. Heroin, meth, LSD, oxycodone.
So wait, if it's
That's good.
decriminalized, that means you won't get.
You'll just get a small fine of like $50. It's like a parking ticket. I mean, that's good. That's probably where we should start. But at the same time, legalization will make everything much safer than it is right now if we were able to buy whatever we wanted out of a dispensary. And that's really the big problem with deaths, at least, is that these people, actually every drug user doesn't have access to pure and safe chemicals.
Whatever they want.
Yeah, and so you're going to, here, I'll pull up a website. Have I ever showed you this website?
Oh my gosh, welcome to the dark web.
This is called drugsdata.org.
I'm opening up the door. So doesn't get smoking, or do you care?
I don't care.
Me neither.
You can send in your,
Whoa!
what?
All these drugs they got on here.
You can send in your sample of the drug.
Wow.
And they will test it and then put the results on the website, and you give them like a 6-digit code or number or whatever, and then so that's how you know it's yours. But I mean, goddamn, get off the screen. I mean, look at this. All this was sold as heroin.
Right, but is it?
I mean, some of them don't even have heroin in it. This has fentanyl, heroin, 4-ANPP, caffeine, 6-acetylmorphine. This is a precursor to fentanyl. So whoever synthesized that fentanyl that went into this product did not do a very good job, because literally half of the product is a precursor. So that's not good. This, even more than half of the product is a precursor. So that's another huge issue with keeping drugs illegal, is you're leaving it up to, leaving it up to fucking shitty chemists to make these substances, and then whoever those shitty chemists are selling their substances to put other shit in it. Like, I don't know how caffeine and cocaine end up in a, like, this is sold as heroin, it literally does not have heroin in it.
Hold on, so you can send this, like, samples to this website?
Yeah, to their address.
But you can't receive nothing from them?
No.
How unfortunate.
They would go to prison forever.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Man, why is there a war on drugs? Why is this just power control thing? What's it called, power abuse?
Well, I think it's all these things start for good reasons, or at least
Well, I mean, like,
good intentions. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the experiment failed with alcohol.
Right.
So we should not be continuing the failed experiment.
Right.
And I don't even necessarily like the war on drugs. It's really a lot more than that now, because I mean, we have the Mexican cartel shooting at planes with 50 caliber.
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
this past week,
Yeah.
like 10 DEA agents got killed.
Yeah, like if 10 DEA agents died, we're gonna go down there and just fucking wipe them out effortlessly. It's like, if we really wanted them gone, they would be gone. It's just like, it's kind of like what's going on in the Middle East. They don't wear fucking uniforms, so anyone in the area is a potential enemy, and then that puts your people on edge, and they end up shooting civilians, and then this whole shit gets started of us killing civilians in Mexico. But
That would be cool.
I mean, one cartel, is it the Guadalajara cartel, killed a DEA agent in like the 80s, I think, and we went down there and just completely fucking abolished them.
Yeah.
They weren't around much longer. And I mean, we could probably do that again, but at this point, it's almost more of a situation of just having better border security.
Racist. No, I'm just kidding.
And, 'cause I mean,
That's not like racist.
ultimately, there's no real reason for anything to get into the country that we don't want to get in across that border.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, of all the high-tech material we have and equipment, you know, we could easily stop it if we really wanted to put a vast amount of resources to it. But then they'd start coming by boats. I'm pretty sure we found tunnels dug under the border that are pretty deep.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a little more complex than that, but the war on drugs really isn't even the issue, in my opinion. It's more so just the criminalization of drugs in general. And it's only criminalized for some people. I mean, like I said, meth is in Schedule 2, and it is still prescribed today to a lot of people in the U.S. under the name brand Desoxyn.
Yeah.
And those people aren't going to go to prison for having meth in their system just because they have ADHD or want to lose weight. It's prescribed for obesity, which is kind of fucking hilarious. It's like with those diet pills. It's like, just sell the real thing. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Quit being... Like, I know you want to patent your own chemical and make fucking money that way, but the reason you're working off of this previous chemical is because that previous chemical is extremely effective. So maybe we should just stick with the
name brand.
Yeah. And so rich people have access to every drug that people go to prison for legally. They can easily, you can get headaches for cocaine for cluster headaches. All you need is a cool doctor.
Yeah.
And
Real cool doctor.
so I don't think the criminalization of drugs has really done anything for anybody. And like,
except for ruin people's lives and send them to prison.
yeah, exactly. And like, sure, there's been people whose lives have been kind of decimated and destroyed by addicts, but at the same time, legalizing drugs, like if we were to legalize drugs, all of that shit would still be illegal. Like, it would still be illegal to abandon your children and abuse them and like do all this fucking bullshit that addicts tend to do.
I mean, hell, yeah, alcoholics do that shit.
Yeah, I mean, so there's already laws protecting people from that behavior. There's no need to criminalize inanimate objects, in my opinion.
Right. So you're a big fan of Hamilton?
Yeah,
Morton?
Hamilton Morris. Yeah, I like Hamilton. He's cool.
Yeah, he's very smart in his field, his area.
Yeah, he knows a lot.
And he's done a lot. He sounds like I think I saw him before you sent me the 2 videos to watch. I saw a video of him on Vice. He like went to like somewhere like some tribe or something like fuck, what was it? I forget if it's like a seed or something that like they do some bunch of shit with it and then like finally like you put it in your nostril and hold it there.
Oh,
In the video,
bufotenine.
maybe the video
Yeah.
puts out like as soon as he puts it in, he closes his eyes, the video ends.
Really?
It doesn't show anything after.
It could be the bufotenine. I can't remember what tree's seed form like has bufotenine in it, but bufotenine's a derivative of DMT, and people put it in their nose. But from what he said and from what I've read, the seeds are not very psychoactive most of the time. Yeah, you get a slight like microdose feeling almost, unless you just do a fucking insane amount of seeds, which I mean you could do if you wanted to. But have you ever heard of morning glory seeds or Hawaiian baby woodrose seeds? They contain LSA, which is pharmacologically and structurally similar to LSD. Both lysergamides have a very similar structure and effects, and if you eat a lot of morning glory seeds, you'll trip pretty heavily. I've done it.
Morning glory seeds?
Yeah.
Where do you get those from?
Yeah, sell them at my plant shop at work, man.
Really?
Yeah.
You gotta get a lot of them though?
Yeah,
Like what's a lot, like handful?
they're very small, like about the size of a grain of sand, and I think it's like 200.
200 of those small things?
Yeah.
So like a handful?
Yeah, it's not that bad.
A handful would be more than that, I feel.
Yeah, it would be a lot, like a full ass handful. Yeah, it'd be thousands of seeds. They're very small. Really, just like a packet of seeds. Just dump them out, toss them down, chew them up, wash them down with some water. You'll trip. It's not as convincing as an LSD experience, but it's possible that just like the seeds may not have been high in concentration of LSA, or maybe LSA is just not as potent. But it's certainly psychoactive. You can definitely get some sort of an experience rolling. So there's natural drugs, like have you ever heard of the plant called cat?
No.
It has a class of drugs called cathinones in them, which are very like structurally and pharmacologically similar to meth.
Yeah.
And it grows in Africa, and people down there, that's like the most commonly used drug. I think it's even more commonly used in alcohol. Like people sell it like a crop at farmers markets and shit.
Oh, what, cot?
Cot, Khat. Yeah.
Cot.
Here, we'll dive back into some structures real quick.
Please keep the viewers, all 2 of them, entertained.
Yeah.
Let me hop on here real quick. He goes another viewer. Boost those numbers.
I think my phone may have died, so I'm not even on there anymore.
Yeah, we're live.
All right. So do you remember math? The structure of math?
Yes.
Yeah. So you kind of have the same thing here. And then, have you ever heard of flocka? Now that's alpha PVP, and that is
I don't know what it does, but I've heard.
Now this may be alpha PVP right here. It's just a synthetic cathinone that has slight modifications to the cathinone structure. Oh, here we go. This is perfect. Amphetamine, methamphetamine, cathinone, methcathinone, MDPV. I've heard a lot of stuff about MDPV. It sounds not like a drug I have any interest in, but it's supposedly it's extremely potent and extremely long lasting, if I'm thinking of the correct drug.
What's methadone? I've heard of the song before.
Methadone? I don't know. I mean, it looks very similar to meth. It actually looks more similar to amphetamine up here, but you still have the nitrogen-hydrogen bond here, but it spirals off right here to CH3. Yeah. So MDMA has 3 oxygens in the back, right here.
Yeah.
and then everything else here. Let's see if we can find MD May.
Can't believe my freshman year chemistry teacher who was like, alright, I like organic chem, so I'm gonna teach you how to do that organic chem. And at the time, you know, I mean, looking back, it wasn't that hard. But really, what kind of stuck with me was how the little connection where the lens meet is a carbon.
Always.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, I know my shit. I know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done all that. Yeah, I've done amphetamine. I've done cathinone.
I mean, I would chew some cot.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
I'd give it a shot.
At this point in my life, it's like, you know what, I'm down for whatever. Like, if I have time to set apart and do a drug, why not? So yeah, if I have time, set some time aside to do some shrooms. Some people that I followed for a while now, like back in college. At first, I used to just buy cards off them. It's been a while since I bought anything from them though, like fucking years. But I still follow them just in case.
Yeah.
But they also sell like edibles, they sell wax, this and that. And then recently they posted that they had mushrooms.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, dude, you know, so
I mean, mushrooms are certainly worth trying, dude. They're fucking incredibly enjoyable.
You're not gonna drink are you gonna put that in your beer?
Yeah, I'm gonna try
Hell
it.
yeah.
My girlfriend got me some goofy
Sick
glasses that
sick ass beer glasses.
yeah, it's like a straw but glasses.
My girl got me beer mugs for Christmas too.
I also have a beer mug that I got. Let's just try it, see if it can work.
They're not even on your fucking face anymore, bro. When they work.
Definitely works. Oh, it tastes like plastic.
Like that fake plastic you smell like.
Yeah.
Beer like that fucking.
Yeah, I'll give them a wash before I do that again, but they work. That's fucking hilarious. Have you ever heard of MPTP? That's one of the most interesting drugs in the fucking world, man. It's not one you'd ever want to do because it is a byproduct of creating MPPP. Yeah, MPPP, which is a pretty run-of-the-mill opioid analgesic. Can put you under, relieve pain, but the byproduct, for whatever reason, after one dose, doesn't even have to be a big dose, causes permanent onset of Parkinson's syndrome.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Every time?
Every time.
Every time anybody does it, you get
Yeah, because it destroys, and it's actually worse than normal Parkinson's, because Parkinson's generally only destroys one part of the brain, like one part of the dopaminergic system, but MPTP destroys all of it. And like there's so many videos of people who didn't know they were taking MPTP, and now they can't walk or they can barely talk. Like, dude, it's incredibly interesting.
What kind of drug is it?
It's an opioid.
Okay.
It's not related to opium or anything like that. It's just a synthetic opioid, but for whatever reason, it causes permanent onset of Parkinson's symptoms.
Onset?
Yeah, like just,
you get it?
Yeah.
You get Parkinson's from
Yeah.
it? Damn.
just from doing it once. And that's
That's why drugs should be illegal.
that's why drugs should be
All of
legal, so you
All
never
of them.
run into that when you think you're taking heroin. You got MPTP in your fucking.
Yeah, I think with the children. Think with babies.
I wonder if
The babies.
drugs data has any.
MTPP.
Yeah.
You need like 20 years till we can like order Molly off of Amazon.
No, I don't think it'll ever happen here.
That's bullshit.
I don't think it'll ever be legal like that.
That one came out clean, huh?
No, that is some melatonin sold as Ambien. That's hilarious.
Dude, they were fucking going on about Ambien on that podcast.
Ambien's a wacky drug,
That's what
dude.
they were saying.
Ambien is out of control.
What is it's like a sleeping drug? It's like a
Well, it's a
sleeping
hypnotic.
What was it
it's
prescribed for?
sleeping. Yeah, it's not. That's what hypnotics are prescribed for.
Who's that bitch who was going off of it?
Roseanne Barr.
What's she do?
You don't remember her tweet?
I never read it. Not
It was something about. It was entirely racist. It was like she'd tagged a black actress and was like, "Oh, I found someone who looks like you in another movie," and it was like a picture of an ape from Planet of the Apes. So it was like a legitimately racist tweet. And but see, it's funny that people were discounting the fact that she was on Ambien, because Ambien makes you do all kinds of retarded shit, dude.
That's fucking stupid, but
It makes you do all kinds of stupid shit. Like, people will wake up and realize they painted their entire house and had no memory of it. They'll stab themselves from command hallucinations. There's a video of a man drowning his wife in his pool on Ambien.
Jesus.
And he had no idea he did it, and he woke up the next day wondering where she was and found her in the pool, lifeless. And then he called the cops on himself because he didn't even know he did it. He called them being like, "What the fuck happened?" And then they went through the security video, and then he went to prison.
She said it's a joke. Did she really say that, or did she say that on Ambient? It's a joke. ABC's doing the best to ignore some of these statements from Roseanne, and she's making it really hard for them.
Did you find the actual tweet?
I found something that was like Muslim Brotherhood implanted had a baby equals VJ, which I imagine is the other.
The actress.
Yeah, it's fucking funny, dude.
I mean, it's pretty fucking hilarious, just the whole situation in general. But people should not. That's another thing. Like, people will either completely blame drugs, or drugs have no explanation whatsoever. So you have people who are like, oh, people who do, like, he only did this because he was on meth, or he only did this because he was a crackhead, or he only did this because he was smoking flocka. But whenever she does something like this, Ambien has no explanation or no input whatsoever. So there's such a hypocritical aspect to how Americans handle drugs. Like, they don't determine human behavior, but they can certainly affect it. And like, Hamilton had that story of being on a German flight. Do you remember that? Yeah. And he was on Ambien, and he was like, "I got some Nazis on this plane." And no, it's that. But see, like, you have those thoughts on Ambien.
Oh my god.
Because you are so disinhibited. Like, it's the most potent deliriant substance that is prescribed on the U.S. market.
Fucking A, dude.
And people take it every day. I've taken it many times.
Really?
Yeah.
You tweet some racist shit?
I doubt it.
Probably.
But yeah, it's possible. See, Ambien, every time I took it, it knocked me out because it's not actually a benzodiazepine, but it binds to the benzodiazepine site on the GABA A receptors, so it kind of has the same effect on the brain, but it's not a benzodiazepine in the way that Xanax is. I've never heard of anyone really having a good time on Ambien because it's so obnoxiously just causes insane delirium.
Yeah.
And then withdrawal is just complete insomnia. Like, you're not gonna go to sleep.
So
if
you just fucking need it more, huh? You need more after?
I mean, maybe, but I mean, you could switch to Xanax or alcohol or anything else that helps you sleep. You know, it doesn't have to just be Ambien. Like, you can smoke a lot of weed and fall asleep, or take a lot of melatonin. There's other answers that don't revolve around just taking Ambien if you end up taking it for an extended period of time, but it's definitely hard to quit because most people don't have time to go a night without sleep.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you heard because she was an actress?
Yeah, so if you can't fall asleep even though you're trying to quit, you're like, well, fuck, I need to go to sleep, so I'm just going to take it again and try to quit tomorrow. And then that process really never ends unless you find something more effective for sleep.
Damn. That's kind of funny.
And then, I don't know if you watched this part, but it's also well recorded that you can give Ambien to someone in a coma and they will wake up. Yeah.
That's crazy.
There's a
That's
lot
not
of,
fake.
it's not, there's so many videos on it, man. Like the first person who ever, cause I can't remember how this like theory came about. I think it was done with studies in like brain dead rats or ones that had brain injuries, and they gave them Ambien and they woke up, and so they tried it on this guy who had been in a coma for years, and then he woke up, and then they just kept giving it to him and he stayed awake.
But like as soon as it wears off, does he go back into the coma? Really?
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Crazy drug, dude. It's a crazy drug. You can give it to someone paralyzed from the waist down and they'll be able to walk. All Ambien's in their blood.
Fuck, dude, that sucks.
Yeah. Imagine it leaving their blood while they're standing up and
I
just
know,
fucking collapsing.
Yeah, that'd be sad.
Yeah, dude. Hopefully we can figure out how to chemically engineer other substances that can do that without causing the intense delirium that you experience from Ambien.
Like an Ambien, they like tweeted like, "Oh, side effects not racism."
Yeah, that's such bullshit, dude.
No,
It absolutely is. Yeah.
It's not racism, but it's
There's all kinds of outrageous thoughts that people get on Ambien. Like, people wake up driving from Ambien. And people fucking, like I said earlier, they'll get command hallucinations to stab themselves or drown their wife in a pool or do all these just absurd things. For you to say, yeah, our drug does that, but doesn't cause racist thoughts is fucking absurd. Of course it causes racist thoughts if you're that disinhibited.
The people who they give the Ambien to, like, you know, they have brain damage, are they coherent when they're awake? Like, they're like, well, what happened? Or they're like on Ambien, like, tweeting racist shit?
Well, not everyone who takes Ambien is going to tweet racist
No, I'm just
shit,
fucking joking around. I'm just joking. Like, you know what I mean? Like, are they coherent or are they on Ambien?
The guy who I watched in that video who was asleep for years knew where he was, but he was still pretty fucked up.
Yeah, he's just awake though.
Yeah, but he could kind of talk, but you could tell his brain was still not operating correctly. And no one's brain's going to operate correctly on Ambien as it is. Like, you're not going to take Ambien at 10 in the morning and then go to work. Like, that's just never going to happen. Unless you take micrograms of it. It's a weird drug, man. Yeah. Ambien's a weird one. It's not one that people should ever, I'm not going to say should ever take, but they should not be taking it every day. It's just too, it's insidiously addictive. It can, like, addiction can ruin your life anyway to anything. Maybe, like, nicotine, maybe, but I don't know who's ruining their life for nicotine addiction. But if you're addicted to Ambien, you got a rough road ahead. If you plan on quitting, if you don't, and Ambien works fine with you, then there's no reason to quit, really. But if you're one of the people who's painting their house, with no memory of that, you should probably find a way to get off of Ambien.
Or drowning your fucking family. That's scary.
Yeah, but see, most hypnotics. Ambien's the most well-known, but there's other hypnotics like aboxetol. Have you ever heard of that? So you've heard of the Amanita muscaria mushroom, correct?
Mm-hmm. There's like the Super Mario mushroom.
Yeah, so in that mushroom there is muscimol and ibotenic acid and a couple other alkaloids, but muscimol is usually what's responsible for the...
Isn't that mushroom toxic?
Yes.
Super toxic?
I wouldn't say super toxic, but it has some legitimate toxicity concerns for sure, especially stemming from the ibotenic acid. That's a neurotoxin. But there has been some evidence that your body will metabolize ibotenic acid into something benign before it ever reaches your bloodstream. But that's not really a risk I'd ever want someone to take, if you know what I mean. So then there's also the idea of like seasonal variability and the variability of which the mushroom, like the soil mediums that the mushroom is grown in, because, that brings me to something else that's pretty interesting. So like whatever you grow, your plants and mushrooms and all that shit in, can like drastically change the like alkaloidal concentrations that they form through their own reactions, because you're giving them different precursors and stuff. And there have been people who have given, like put, it may not be DIPT, but some sort of tryptamine psychedelic that's fully synthetic, has never been found in nature anywhere, and they'll put it, like a solution of it, in the soil medium of some mushrooms, and they will take that tryptamine drug and then make it into an entirely other drug. Just the mushrooms themselves will do that. So depending on where the Amanita muscaria grows, maybe you'll have a much higher concentration of muscimol than the toxins, you know? So all that shit really matters. But what I was getting at is muscimol is the drug inside of those mushrooms that cause the psychoactive effects. And there are non-selective benzodiazepine, like a GABA A receptor agonist. So benzodiazepines like Xanax don't activate every subtype of the GABA A receptor, but muscimol does, and so it causes you to be sleepy. It makes you feel drunk, like alcohol, because alcohol is a selective GABA A receptor agonist, like Xanax. But this one hits all the subtypes, and so it makes you feel drunk, but it also makes you kind of trip balls and like deliriant state. It causes like this dreamy, just absurd fucking reality. And that drug, muscimol, was taken and made into gaboxetol and patented by a lab, and they tried to send it through the FDA to get clearance to be as a hypnotic on the market, but it was just way too psychedelic. Like everyone was just fucking tripping balls and freaking out and having these bad experiences with it, you know?
Yeah.
And so for whatever reason, our current understanding of drugs that make you sleep kind of make you go crazy a little bit. Like Ambien. Like alcohol helps you sleep, cannabis helps you sleep, and you're not going crazy with those necessarily.
Right.
At least not to the extent Ambien can make you do it. So we just got to figure out this hypnotic thing, maybe make some more useful cannabinoid agonists or something like that. But see, we tried to do that with synthetic cannabinoids like K2, and we saw how that went. Made some people go kind of crazy as well. So we haven't figured out the sleep drug yet. Melatonin kind of works, doesn't work for most people.
Yeah, I don't feel melatonin.
It doesn't help you sleep at all. See, to me, dude, that drug makes me like have the most insanely intense psychedelic dreams, dude.
Really?
Yeah, man. Like it's fucking crazy. I was taking absurd doses though, just to like.
How many milligrams?
I mean, I was taking like 15 or 20 just to see what happens.
Are those pills or like gummies or whatever?
No, like usually they're like 1 to 3 milligrams, and I had the 3 milligram tablets, and I was taking like 6 or 7 of them.
Damn.
I just wanted to see what would happen. I mean, it's not a toxic. I mean, our brain makes it. We're just putting more of it in our
like
brain.
Lucid dreaming or
No, it was just fucking out of control. I had no awareness that I was dreaming.
That was real life?
Yeah.
But you had no control?
Nothing. Just living in that wacky world for a while.
Having those dreams since getting off the weed?
Yeah, quitting cannabis will make you dream kind of crazy.
Yeah. Very vivid.
I think cannabis use prevents or at least shortens the length of REM sleep.
Yeah, I think you told me that before.
Yeah.
I was trying to explain it to Diana, and I was like, I'm not smart enough to explain this shit. Trust me, girl, we're gonna have some weird ass dreams.
Hell yeah, another beer.
Hell yeah, dude. What did you have before? You have a beer or did you have some liquor?
Before I came over here, I drank 2 7.5 beers.
Damn.
Well, I only had 2 left.
Yeah.
And I figured that's not gonna do anything, so I'm just gonna put them down. Yeah. I started drinking at like noon. It's my day off, bro.
That's
my day off.
You're not at work, it's a nice day outside.
That's such a good meme.
Abe's just like talking to the crowd, yeah.
I love that meme, dude.
It's funny as fuck, I love that shit too. And no, ever since I've seen that meme, it's resonated with me. I fucking wholeheartedly agree.
Oh.
Just don't get, blacked out, or at least drink water. You want to wake up with a terrible hangover.
Yeah, dude, I have completely fixed hangovers. Yeah. I never get them. The most I ever feel is just anxiety the first 30 minutes I wake up.
Yeah.
After that, I'm just fine.
What's your little process?
I stop drinking about 30 minutes before I go to bed, chug 2 big glasses of water, take 2 ibuprofen, go to bed.
Yeah, that works, yeah.
It's gone. I wake up with no headache. Just like I said, sometimes a little bit of anxiety, but that's natural because this is an anti-anxiety drug, and as it leaves your body, you're obviously going to experience some anxiety.
You're not as confident.
Yeah. And actually, alcohol is in some sense an opioid as well as a benzodiazepine because it modulates your opioid system. And you kind of get, that's why I would assume that's why you have a much higher pain tolerance on alcohol.
Really?
Of course, yeah. And you've never...
I've never thought about it,
Dude, the only true experience I have with this outside of going to kickboxing sparring, fucking hammered one time. The only true experience with an injury that would have actually really hurt if I was sober, that didn't hurt at all drunk, was I was in Alaska and me and my buddies, we went to go get Rillo's fucking cigarettes, whatever the fuck we were doing, and we came back and the property we lived on had this L-shaped fence and we didn't want to walk all the way around the fucking long part just to get to our apartment that was right here, basically. Right. So we were just like, let's just jump this fence. Dude, this fence was like 8 feet tall. It's the fucking tallest fence, dude. It was retarded. But my buddy gets up there first and he goes, hey, it's sharp as fuck up here. Y'all be careful, it's sharp. Yeah. And then the other dude went in front of me, he jumped, tore his shorts almost completely off at the top. And so I was like, oh shit, this is actually sharp. And so I get up there, I put both of my hands on the bar and I just kind of hop over the top. But as I'm coming down, my hand right here grabs the top of it and just cut it pretty deep. And I was like dripping.
You have a scar there? I got like a scar on my thumb somewhere right here. It's like you can barely see it now.
I can't remember which hand it was on, to be honest.
I can see a little mark right here. Like a little.
They have a picture of it. But and then the security guard comes walking over, and I literally I had almost no knowledge that I did it. And then he asked me what happened to my hand, and I looked down, and it was dripping blood.
Well, I got a little bitch bladder, dude.
What the hell? I gotta go see a doctor.
No, I should, but I'll be back.
Hell yeah. Oh, I wish chat was here so they could ask me some questions about drugs. Nobody in chat.
Actually, hold on. I got a pretty similar story too. I didn't get a serious wound on myself, but I do remember one time in France, I was coming home from the club, just drunk as fuck, trying to stumble my way back to my apartment. And I remember just like fucking, it's like a little fucking this high log fence. You know what a log fence is, right? Like it's got like those strips of log. It's like two, and then like log posts like that, right? It's a little bitch ass log fence, bro. My dumb ass, I fucking like cartoonishly like just fucking flip over that shit. I flip over that shit and busted my ass and everything. And then I don't know how long I lay there, but
Dude, when you're drunk like that, you could lay there all night and not even know it.
Well, like for me, like I fucking fell over, flipped on my back, got up, and fucking made my way back to my apartment. And then the next morning, I go, wake up, brush my teeth, and all that. And I look in the mirror, I'm like fucking covered in cuts on my face, or like bruises. I'm like, what the fuck? But no, yeah, you're right. Nothing, but I absolutely did not feel any of that shit when I fell. I just fucking flipped over that shit.
I mean, Xanax also causes but Xanax may also modulate your opioid system. I'm not sure, but there's also pain-killing properties to GABA A receptor agonists for sure. I mean, the whole mechanism of this drug is that it literally slows the electrical current of your brain down significantly. That's why, and Xanax and barbiturates, all that shit. That's why your reaction times are much slower. That's actually one of the things with people who drive drunk is unless you're driving completely just fucking belligerent, you're probably not going to be swerving much more than you usually do. Yeah. But the problem is that your reaction time is significantly lower. And so you don't react to someone slamming on their brakes in front of you until you're hitting them. Yeah. And so like there's certainly like you talk to people who are like, man, I drive better drunk. And it's like, yeah, you probably honestly do. But your reaction time is horrendous. If a little kid ran out in front of your car, you wouldn't even know because they'd be dead and you'd be 2 blocks away. And like that's usually how drunk driving accidents start. And that's actually why the drunk drivers statistically are less injured than the people who weren't drunk in the accident because their reaction time's slower. They didn't have time to tense their muscles up and fucking prepare for the crash, which you're not going to be stronger than whatever kinetic energy you're about to face. So you're going to get launched, you're going to tear muscles, dislocate shoulders from being tensed.
Does that make it worse if you tense up?
Yeah, but the drunk drivers are just chilling and then all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, and then, yeah. Yeah, so there's certainly, I'm sure, pain-killing properties going on in your brain just from that, but it does have opioid activity as well.
Officer, I got prescribed this alcohol. I'm using it as a painkiller, officer.
It used to be medicinal. You used to be able to get prescribed alcohol.
Yeah, but like, it was like high volume alcohol, wasn't it?
It was probably pretty high.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, you won't feel pain, you're fucked up.
Oh no, it was for anxiety.
Huh?
It was for anxiety, and before we had a name for depression, they would prescribe it for that.
I remember seeing like old bottles of old medicine, just like had like this much cocaine, this much alcohol, this much morphine. I'm like, damn.
I mean, there's no reason we shouldn't be doing that now. We still kind of do. Oxycodone, like that. It's all really money, because like there is literally no reason, maybe outside of potency, to ever use oxycodone over morphine.
Yeah.
There's certainly no reason to use oxycodone over, well, never mind, I take it back. I was about to say heroin, but heroin has weird metabolic processes when taken orally.
I would do heroin if I could get it pure.
Yeah, would you snort it or inject it?
snort it, I think.
Yeah, probably like.
I don't like needles.
I wouldn't want to inject myself with anything.
Yeah.
Now, if I went to a clinic and they wanted to so I've been thinking about doing ketamine therapy for my OCD, and I think you have the option between injection and a nasal spray. I'll probably do the needle. I mean, it's a nurse. They know how to fucking.
Where's the clinic at? Like.
I got one in Little Rock. I got one in Fayetteville.
Little Rock?
Yeah, it's like $500 a treatment, but we have one here. Yeah, and ketamine and a derivative called S-ketamine, which is, from what I understand, just the left isomer of a ketamine molecule. It's cleared by the FDA. You can get it prescribed to take it home in the form of a nasal spray. And ketamine's probably my favorite drug ever.
Yeah.
In terms of like sporadic use. Like, it's not one I'd want to use every day.
Like every now and then?
Yeah, like once a year, I'd probably pick ketamine over anything else in the world. Certainly, well, mushrooms is a close second, but I think ketamine's a little better than mushrooms.
If I had access to mushrooms, I think I'd do it more than once a year, like 3 times a year.
Mushrooms have extremely low toxicity. You don't really have to worry about anything besides.
Like once a month.
The only thing psychedelics are a stressor, so they absolutely have a correlation with psychosis. It's arguable that the entire experience is a psychotic episode. So you don't really want to be doing that to yourself that often. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember Hamilton talking about his old best friend who like had a psychotic break.
He took a high dose of a psilocin ester, which is like a salt form of psilocin.
Like never came back from it.
He said he never was the same afterward.
Yeah. Which I don't know what that means. I don't know the guy, you know.
Yeah, and he also pointed something out that I feel like a lot of people probably overlook, is that happened to that guy at the same time it happens in the normal population without drug use.
Late teens, early 20s.
Yeah, so that's usually when people start developing true what's the fucking word? Completely like disabling schizophrenia and psychosis is around that age anyway. Maybe the mushroom or the psilocin ester brought it on earlier than it may have happened, or maybe it wouldn't have happened at all. It's impossible to say, but
you can't really say.
Yeah.
If it wouldn't happen without it.
Yeah.
It's definitely a drug scare story, though, you know.
It is.
And
Yeah.
like you said, there's something behind drug scare stories.
Yeah, there's
Just
never irresponsibility is always it. Like crocodile.
Yeah, what the fuck is that, dude? I don't think he said like what the. Well, he said like. Did he say what it was?
Well, the drug crocodile is just desomorphine, which is.
Oh, it's meth.
What?
Just meth.
No, desomorphine.
What's the meth
Morphine.
brand name?
No, that's desoxin.
Okay, never mind then. Yeah.
No, see, desomorphine isn't a name brand. It's the actual name of the molecule.
What is that?
Like nothing. It's just a morphine derivative. It does the same thing as morphine and opioid.
Yeah, it's like the people who use necrosis.
Yeah, you'd get profound necrosis, but not because of desomorphine, but because you had shitty street chemists making the desomorphine, and they were leaving their precursors in their final product. And one of the precursors to synthesize desomorphine is phosphorus.
Oh.
So phosphorus was being injected into your fucking blood, and you're wondering why your arm's falling off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's never ever the drug.
Oh, is it a bromine dragonfly?
Oh yeah, bromo dragonfly. Oh, let me do what we came here to do real quick. Let me see if anything's had MPTP in it. That would be scary, dude.
MPTP. It's gonna be like some Arkansas methamphetamine that I might have done a couple Octobers ago.
Nope, nothing.
Did I tell you
That's
that?
good.
Maybe like 2 Halloweens ago, 8 Halloween ago, I forget how long. I bought Molly, quote unquote Molly, from what's his face, Jaden.
Yeah, and you had a bad experience?
Not a bad experience, but it was like a different experience from the other times I've done Molly. Like I just felt really anxious, heart beating fast as fuck, but like none of the euphoria really.
Yeah.
And I was
Probably
like,
just took a very high dose of amphetamine or methamphetamine or
yeah,
caffeine.
I thought it was meth for sure, but I mean like.
You've done meth.
Huh?
Have you ever done meth?
No, but like I'm saying like in the moment I was like, this is probably meth.
Yeah. That's bromo dragonfly right there.
Oh, I see. It's like kind of a wing. The wings and the tail. Yeah, that's cool.
Let's see if you remember the structures I was showing you earlier that has a lot in common with meth, right? And
Well, yeah,
Adderall.
like this first part right here.
Well, no, if you just take away this, you have the phenethylamine structure.
Mm.
And so this is just a very potent psychedelic amphetamine, but the problem people were having with it is that it's an extremely potent vasoconstrictor, like extremely potent, and
Okay.
so people were putting it on tabs like acid. And if I remember correctly, this kind of has a metallic flavor. And you've done acid, you know it's supposed to have no flavor.
Right.
But it's possible that by the time you're tasting the metallic flavor, it's already kind of in your system, so you may be kind of fucked. But so people were taking this like it was acid, taking 3, 4, 5, 10 tabs of it, and then they were having to get fingers and arms amputated,
Why?
because it shrinks your veins, vasoconstrictor. That's what that means. So it slows the blood flow and causes your veins to constrict. And they were getting so small that no blood was getting to the like.
You just died.
No, you don't die. You just get
No,
stuck.
like your hands just like
Yeah,
your
pretty
hands
much.
died.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, and it lasts like hell. It can last like 20 hours, I think.
Damn, dude. These people are
So
martyrs.
it's not really a drug you want to do.
These people are drug
And this is
martyrs.
just another product of prohibition. No one would be doing this drug.
The LSD or acid.
Yeah,
legalized.
Exactly.
He said something about synthetic cannabinoids.
Yeah, that's partially true, but I have interest in synthetic cannabinoids. I would do JWH18 for sure, but that's a Schedule 1 substance and very hard to get now.
What does that one feel like? Just marijuana, or is it?
Supposedly, yeah. So there's a lot of reports like. It's the problem with like bad reporting on drugs is like you think all synthetic cannabinoids are really bad, and
Right.
but I've read many reports of people saying this is far more enjoyable than cannabis, and I don't cough as much, I don't feel as anxious. Like Delta 8 THC is 90 like you are very rarely getting natural Delta 8 because it exists in such trace quantities. Most of the carts or edibles or even flour you're getting is synthetic Delta 8, so that's arguably a synthetic cannabinoid most of the time. Have you ever done Delta 8?
No.
Really?
I wouldn't know it. What is it?
No, it's just like you have Delta 9 THC, which is what's in weed.
Right.
Like that's what people seek, and then you have Delta 8, which is about half as potent.
But where do you find that in?
You can go to the vape store right down the street, they have it.
Delta 8?
Have it everywhere. They have carts, they have gummies, they have bud, they have moon rocks, they have wax.
And it gets you high?
Yeah, it gets you high as fuck. It's not
It's
as
not CBD though?
no, it's not as powerful as THC, but you get high. I like it a lot more than THC. I would pick it over normal weed any day. It's just I don't trust where those carts are coming from. I have no idea who made that. So if I could go into a weed dispensary and they were like, hey, our lab's made Delta 8 for people who deal with anxiety because it doesn't cause anxiety near as much in me at least as normal weed does. And then I'd buy it for sure, but the fucking vape shop or gas stations with Delta 8 carts, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some vitamin E acetate or some shit in there, I'm gonna get pneumonia and die.
I think weed gives you all them little bad effects if you smoke it too often. Because I remember last time I smoked
Or if you just smoke too much at one time.
Right. But I remember last time I smoked it was New Year's, and I was here taking care of Charlie Murphy.
Yeah.
And I was able to scrounge up some weed out of your mom's one-hitter dugout.
Yeah.
Because, whenever you pack the one-hitter in the
You get
dugout.
stuck in there and you can get a little toothpick or whatever and
Right, so I scraped some of that up, and the first 2 hits got me fucking just high as shit. I felt real good, none of the anxiety, this and that. And then a couple hours later, or maybe later that night, I forget how long, I did more hits, and that's when the anxiety and the paranoia started to hit, and I was like, ugh, I don't miss this at all.
No, I know. I feel like unless you're like truly able to handle high doses of cannabis, it's probably best to just stick to like one hit off a cart a night. That's usually if I can smoke. Due to my job, I can't because I get drug tested. But like when I was smoking towards the end and was getting real anxious from like normal bud, then I just kind of started turning to the cart, and I would just take one small hit and then just be all right the rest of the night. There's also like you should probably let yourself come down from drugs. I feel like that's a problem a lot of addicts have. They don't let the drug leave their system, and then you're just you're raising the percentage chance of all of the risks that drug has happening to you. If you're just constantly redosing all night, like we're doing with alcohol right now.
And then you wake up and keep smoking.
Yeah.
I agree.
And see, like if you drink, well, hell, my alcohol tolerance is so high I could drink 9 of these beers and not feel anything the next morning. But if I fucking drink like, usually when I'm drinking my strong potent beers, I drink 3 or 4 a night max, unless it's like fight night or something, then I'll get belligerent. But dude, last time, I don't know if I told you this, dude, I drank a fucking absurd amount. It was some fight night, maybe even it wasn't, maybe I was just looking for an excuse to get drunk as hell. And
Tuesday, was it Tuesday when you said you drank too much the night before? Or Monday, I guess?
oh yeah, I did drink too much that night, but I didn't even drink too much. I didn't do my hangover routine.
Right, yeah.
But I just passed out on the bed and woke up with a headache. It's like, fuck. But
that shit sucks.
but dude, I drank like 6, maybe 7, like 8% beers, drank some bourbon. Like I was hammered, and I was, you're kind of stumbling around. I was going to the couch to watch whatever I was getting drunk for, and there was this TV dinner tray with a lit candle on it, and I just ran into that bitch because it was literally right around the corner on the wall. So I was like hugging the wall going around the corner, and I hit it. And so I start stumbling, trying to save myself, and I kicked the TV dinner tray, and dude, candle wax splashed all over my face, and all over the ground, all over my pants and shoes. And I remember just standing there for a second like, what just happened? And I went and looked in the room, and dude, candle wax got like right here, like literally right next to my eye, and I was like, I got so lucky just now.
Yeah.
And then grabbed another beer. And
Right.
Cheers. Exactly, bro.
Damn. I wonder what causes such a bitch ass bladder.
You gotta piss again?
I feel it coming, bro.
Just go pee.
Bro, I'm just so pissed though. Dude, even when I don't drink, like I'll drink a coffee in the morning at work, right? Because they have
You
a
gotta piss 9 times.
I pissed like 4 times before noon, bro.
That's fucking. You need to go to the doctor, bro.
I swear I just had a bitch ass bladder, bro. I've always had it. I always had this little punk ass bladder. I don't know what I can do about it.
What's your favorite like everyday drug?
Every day?
Like a drug you're comfortable using every day and feel like your life won't fall apart. What would it be?
Alcohol, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Like if you had to choose one, it'd be alcohol forever.
Let me go pee on the back.
All right.
No, I'll answer that. I'll think about it. Because I have been drinking quite a bit since I got off the weed. So.
You gotta find a replacement to get intoxicated, bro. I love not being sober. So any drug that is not actively tested for nicotine, alcohol, mitragynine, those are really my 3. No one tests for kratom, luckily. However, it is annoying because it's illegal in my state, so I never really get to do it as much as I'd like to do it. It's only when I go out of town, and which is pretty often, luckily, lately. I get to go out of town to where they sell kratom legally, but... So what would your drug be?
I guess alcohol, because I haven't really, experimented with many other drugs. I mean, ever since we did Molly that one night, I've always just been like, you gotta be careful with that shit, because the come down
You had a horrible time the next couple days? Yeah, the next week for me was terrible, but that was our fault.
I mean, that absolutely. No, dude.
That was our fault.
There's no way for us to know that the scale was fucked.
Neither of the other... Well, Sarah didn't experience it at all.
But she did kind of have like some, what was it, like, overload, like sensory overload, she said?
Yeah. Felt a little overstimulated, but
Right,
I would
yeah.
just have crying spells, bro. Like, I would just start crying.
Like, I remember just like driving home, I forget where I was going to, but I remember driving. And it's like, I felt something like physically, I physically felt something, bro, like a pit right here, just, and it made me feel so sad. I was just like, man, I couldn't help it, I couldn't help feeling sad. Which I guess is a repercussion for feeling so good at the time.
Well, it's also just the mechanism of MDMA where it dumps all the serotonin you have. And serotonin's really what... It has a big factor in controlling your confidence. Like if you have high serotonin, you're more confident, you have more energy, you're more ready to go. If you have low serotonin, you're more depressed, you're obviously less confident, but you're more aggressive.
Yeah.
So like
irritable?
yeah, more so like aggressions, and I think it comes from being like insecure from being so depressed.
Yeah.
I mean, this is actually, it's not just in humans, like it actually happens to lobsters as well.
Poor lobsters.
If you inject them with serotonin, they don't fight as often, but they are in more control. So like they have more mates, they're more confident, but they don't fight as often as the other lobsters, but they still are doing better.
And when they come down from it?
I don't know that part.
I'm
sure.
They just fucking brawling.
Yeah, I'm sure they get after it again, but
Like, man, fuck.
but it's just interesting. So whenever you dump all your serotonin onto the receptors, and then you wake up the next morning and you don't have as much, kind of fucked for a little bit. But there are ways to get around that, like supplementing eating turkey the night before you fall asleep.
I love turkey.
Yeah, turkey has tryptophan in it, which is a building block of serotonin. So if
Yeah.
you load up on some turkey, you won't feel it as much. And then there's 5-hydroxytryptophan, which was actually used in the MDMA studies done by MAPS, and it pretty convincingly prevented the hangover from happening.
If you eat turkey?
No, 5-hydroxytryptophan, which is
Oh.
just a derivative of what's in turkey, but you can buy it at Kroger in like a tablet form.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can just take a decent amount of that before you go to bed, and you'll probably feel all right the next day.
Like after doing as much small as we did?
I don't know about that, but it probably would have made it a little better.
And then you and I stayed up just fucking licking.
Yeah, dude, that was retarded, man. I regret it.
Dude, honestly, like, I thought,
I wouldn't do it again.
I probably would.
I wouldn't do it like that again. I'd take 180 milligrams and call it a night after I come down.
I enjoy, well, I mean, the hangover does suck.
Yeah, it sucks too bad to be worth.
Yeah.
Because what did that even do? Like, I wasn't getting high out there. I was just staying awake.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I probably shouldn't, but I probably would do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember, like I said, just like, normally, like, yeah, I get depressed here and there, just like every now and then, like seasonal depression, I guess you call it. But like, that hangover, like, I swear it was physical. It was really physical.
It's closer to like MDD, which is like major depressive disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a totally different story from depression. Like, you can have depression and be depressed, but MDD is like a motherfucker. It's like the most commonly, like people who commit suicide, the most common diagnosis they have is MDD. So it's like a totally different, like just league above having depression. But my everyday drug for sure would be kratom, without a doubt.
I get sick from it every time, dude.
I think I've talked to so many, well, I certainly have a tolerance, but you and Seth, both, it just does not seem to affect you guys the way it affects me. Like, I don't know if I have just like a perfect metabolism for taking kratom or what. I never throw up. I threw up one time from kratom, and I have taken more than I did that night since many times and not even gotten nauseous. Like, the only time I'll ever get nauseous is if I take a massive dose, like 10 grams, but like whenever I start coming down from it, like 4 hours later, then I'll start being like, fuck, I could throw up, and then I usually just go to bed and I'm fine. I love kratom, dude. It's the most enjoyable. Like, if it was legal here in Arkansas, I probably would not drink really at all.
You still have any?
Nah.
You're out? I think I got like 5 little capsules at my place from the ones
Are those big capsules?
No, it's just the small ones that we fill up, that we do.
I'm pretty sure those.
Are those big capsules?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, well,
I'm pretty sure I would have capsuled you up more than 5 if they weren't the big ones.
I don't have any reference for big or small because I've only known those small, those capsules, but.
But dude, like the extracts, bro, put me on the fucking moon. It genuinely makes me a better person, like 100%. I'll be playing UFC, like if I'm just drunk playing UFC and someone messages me with some bullshit, I'll be in there for 2 hours just fucking talking shit, dude. I get banned all the time from just messaging people. I'll get like communication bans. I can't send messages. But when I'm on kratom and someone messages me on some bullshit, I'll just be like, hey, good game, bro. Take it easy.
Yeah.
I have never gotten in an argument with anyone about anything on kratom, ever.
Man, I wish I didn't throw up from it because I remember when we did the extract in Missouri.
You felt great?
I felt great.
So nice. Oh, it's so nice.
Whenever I stood up though, I got nauseous.
You got a little fucking.
Right, but
you just took too much.
Huh?
You just took too much. I shouldn't have made you
Dude,
take the
no,
whole
bro,
extract.
like, no, I swear to God, like.
I should have said take half of that, Otto. You've never done this drug before.
I put that bitch
No, you
down.
took the equivalent of like 18 grams of kratom.
And I feel so good. Like
I know, dude.
Like I would lay down.
But if you would have taken half of that, you would have felt that good standing up.
Bro, I feel like here's the thing though. I've never not taken kratom and thrown up.
It's so weird.
Every time, like even
I think maybe you need to start with like 2 grams, which you would not get that nice feeling from. You would just feel stimulated.
I would hate that though. I want to feel good.
Well, you need to work up to it. You gotta earn it, bro. You gotta earn its trust.
I'm pretty patient, but not with drugs. With drugs, I
You're
want
trying to
that
get
shit.
fucked up.
I want that shit to kick in. That's why I always use beers a little bit more higher percent because I'm waiting for them to trip in.
See, like this always surprises Seth, but I genuinely find kratom more euphoric than MDMA.
Really?
Yes. Every time I do it, I feel way better than I did on MDMA.
Hamilton said he said the same thing about like weed over.
Yeah, heroin.
Yeah, heroin.
Yeah, he didn't like heroin.
He said it was lame.
Yeah.
It was lame as fuck.
The thing that cracked me up was when he was like, everyone romanticizes and like fantasizes this drug, but to me, like, what if it's trash? It felt like trash.
It was boring, he said, yeah.
And that's not surprising. Like, oxycodone, heroin, there's really no difference. If you've taken one, you've taken the other. And oxycodone didn't really. I love opioids. They're my favorite class of drugs by far. But I would do what?
I'm a stimulant guy.
I hate stimulants, dude. I can't even drink caffeine.
Caffeine doesn't really affect me. I don't think I get much of a caffeine buzz. I do get to crash though. Like I do be feeling tired.
Well, I mean, caffeine affects you for sure. You don't necessarily, you may not notice it.
I guess
but
I don't notice it.
yeah. But that's like a low dose of kratom. You wouldn't necessarily notice it, but you'd be like, man, I'm getting a lot of shit done today. What the fuck? And you're like, oh, took some kratom earlier.
Yeah.
But no, man. Anytime I've taken kratom, I am literally like sometimes I'm literally like overwhelmed with happiness and like and empathy.
Yeah.
But it's not the kind of empathy where you'll start like crying. It's just more like, damn, I need to think about that more next time I'm in. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's that kind of empathy. And man, that's why I love it, because I don't feel like I'm a too terribly empathetic person most of the time, but when I take kratom, I feel very empathetic, and it feels good to like actually care about, like, not that I don't care about other people, but just like in a different way where it's hitting a little deeper, you know?
I hear what you're saying.
Because sometimes on kratom, like I'll get into the thing of just like, oh, that person's brain is working just like mine. Like we're kind of going through the same
Motions.
yeah, and everything. You know what I mean? And I don't usually experience that sober.
I feel that sober, dude. I feel like empathy sober.
Yeah.
When I get drunk, though.
Well, I'm not saying I don't feel empathy sober.
When I get drunk, though. When I'm drunk, so it's all
It's
about
making
me.
up for the over empathetic. It's like, fuck these motherfuckers, man.
I'm
I'm
the
done with
best.
this bullshit.
Nobody
You'd be
can
a
talk to me.
menace on cocaine.
Oh my God, probably. I probably, end up dying because I probably, challenged the wrong guy.
Just
Hey,
kidding.
you're
What
better
the
than me?
fuck
You think
up,
you're better
dude?
than me, guy? He takes out the gun. Shoot me, do it, pussy. He does it. I'm dead.
Cocaine definitely made me more confident when I did it, but not in the way I expected. It wasn't like a coke confidence that I could fight anyone. It was more so just like,
Over your insecurities.
yeah, it was like, I'm confident I'm going to be perfectly fine in life.
Yeah.
That was usually my thought process. Just like, I'll be alright.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how I am sober. It's like I get stressed out,
Yeah, see, I'm not like that sober.
but then I'm like I get stressed out, but I'm like a week from now I'm gonna be stressed out about something else. So maybe not.
That does help, yeah.
Maybe not
That's
stressed out too much about what I'm stressing out about right now.
something we go over in my OCD therapy.
Yeah.
It's just like sometimes I'll go down these like OCD loops,
Right.
and then literally like sometimes an hour later I'm literally laughing at how retarded that thought process was. And so sometimes when I'm going through it and it's like, dude, you know you're gonna be laughing at yourself in like 10 minutes, just go fucking drink or something.
Right. Like a week from now, what I'm
Yeah.
about, it's not gonna matter. at
Yeah,
all.
exactly.
A day from now, hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me sober though. Me off my handle, so I'm fucking mean as shit. Don't fucking talk to me unless you got some cool, funny shit to say.
Oh, dude, I wrote all of our state senators recently.
No way.
Yeah.
All 50?
We have 40 of them, I think. Whatever was on the .gov website, I emailed all of them about kratom. Being like,
Wait, it's not a senator per state? That's what I meant by office.
No, like state senators. We have 2 per fucking district or 1 per district, whatever. And I think there's like 39 districts or something.
Oh,
They all got an email.
saying what?
Hold on. But here you can actually.
Damn, son.
That's what I sent them. You can read it while I go piss.
Can I read it out loud?
Yeah. There may be a typo in that one because I had to correct it in the
Senator
email.
Cotton, bro.
Yeah, I wrote that to Tom Cotton. He replied with the most caring response, bro.
It wasn't him though.
Yeah, hell no, it was one of those fucking.
Lackeys.
Yeah, for sure.
Those little lackeys. Okay, this says, "Hello, Senator Cotton. My name is Redacted, and I am an advocate for the legalization of kratom in the state of Arkansas. Kratom is listed in Schedule 1, Section C of our controlled substance list. Schedule C is dedicated. I'll be back. I gotta pee again. I'm sorry, y'all. I swear, if Chad, if you listen to this, I have the worst fucking bladder on planet Earth. I swear, this is ridiculous. I'm about to fucking go out there and pee and think about what I've done in life to deserve this. I probably do deserve it. Anyways, chat, be back in a bit. Alright, chat, that's gonna be our little secret that I pissed for the fucking 4th time on here. Mason won't know. Oh, I turned off his phone. I don't know his passcode. Fuck, he's gonna get suspicious. What do I do? Fuck. Chat, what do I do? I'll just say I turned it off by accident. Oh my goodness. It's good to be back though doing this. I've missed just chit chatting with my boy Mace, talking about nonsense and stuff. How many of y'all are out there? Everybody in the chat say what's up real quick. Everybody in the chat say hey. I'm gonna talk real quick. Hey. Oh. Chat, y'all should also give us ideas of what y'all want to hear from us in the future. Cause I'm always down to talk drugs and stuff. I think drugs are fun. At least the ones that I've done have been fun so far. I haven't really had like a bad experience with drugs. Here's something that Hamilton Morrilton said. He said that there's no such thing as a bad trip anymore as there's such a thing as, you know, bad day, bad meal, bad race and shit. And that kind of stuck with me because, you know, I get it because, like, yeah, that's the fear, you know, you don't want to fucking trip dicks and then just have the worst trip of your life. Fuck around. You remember that part where Hamilton,
Yeah.
he was like, I turned off your phone on accident, I couldn't get back into it.
Did you read it all?
No, I turned it off mid-conversation, mid-reading it. Where was I? Kratom is listed in Schedule 1, Section C of our controlled substance list. Schedule C is dedicated to opium derivatives, meaning the drugs on this list are derived from the substances extracted from the papaver somniferum seed. You know, Khan doesn't have all these words in his lexicon.
Papaver somniferum seed pod and wax.
Labeling kratom as an opium derivative is completely and utterly disgusting.
I did not say that.
Inaccurate, he's right. Kratom has no relation at all to the opium poppy. It is a Southeast Asian tree called Mitragania speciosa. Alkaloids in this plant, namely
Mitragynine.
That's 9, mitragynine, have been repeatedly shown to effectively help people quit more addictive and more dangerous opioids. It does this by partially agonizing the same receptors that heroin, oxycodone, hydrocodone, etc. fully agonize. It produces a similar effect but much less powerful. For example, buprenorphine is used in clinics around the country to treat withdrawals and help people wean off those substances. Mitragynine and buprenorphine. Oh my god. Buprenorphine are pharmacologically. What's the difference between if I say pharmacologically and pharmacologically?
One isn't a word.
Similar. Mitragynine has added benefits of having adrenergic. You know, how about you read this? You know what sucks though?
What?
There's nobody in fucking Senate smart enough to know what all that shit means, I feel.
That's the problem. They're the ones making the
They're all-
laws,
they're all
and they don't know
businessmen.
what any of this means.
They're all businessmen.
Actually, fucking half of them were farmers.
Really?
Yeah, I saw it in their little past occupations, and a lot of them were fucking farmers, bro. And I was like, you guys aren't gonna know what any of this
Like they
means.
grew up on a farm?
No, like they own a farm somewhere.
I swear they're all businessmen. Dude. They're all conducting business, moving money around. It's sad, but.
It said mitragynine has added benefits of having adrenergic and dopaminergic activity, which gives the user energy. A common issue with quitting the more dangerous and addictive opioids is fatigue and lethargy. Mitragynine not only relieves the cravings of opiates, but also gives the user energy throughout the day while in the process of quitting. It is also much safer than any of these drugs, as mitragynine does not, there was a typo, I put do not. Mitragynine does not cause respiratory depression and death when overdosed. The most common side effect of overdose with kratom is nausea and vomiting, much preferred over needing Narcan to prevent the user from dying. Yet we are keeping people from accessing this very cheap, very safe, and less addictive substance. Not only that, but we have this drug categorized completely inaccurately. It is not an opiate, which is an opium derivative. It's in a class of drugs called coronanthidines. Not related to opiates in any way, shape, or form. The tree itself is in the coffee family, not the papaver family. Its leaves contain mitragynine, which can help people quit more dangerous and addictive drugs, as I stated earlier. It also antagonizes, which blocks the 5-HT2B receptor. When that receptor is activated, it causes valve issues in the heart. Kratom blocks this receptor and keeps that from happening. There is no reason to be one out of 5 states in the country not allowing people to access and use the substance. Sure, some people will abuse it and be unsafe with it. However, that isn't the point. People abuse alcohol and I'm able to purchase it freely. It is much safer than other opiates, but even safety isn't the point, as we are allowed to freely do dangerous things, from smoking cigarettes to hunting bears in this state.
Word.
Keeping kratom illegal is not allowing people the option to take safer and less addictive painkillers. We have an opportunity to show addicts and drug users that the government does care about them and does want to help them. We can do that by offering a more attractive alternative to heroin and other dangerous opiates, and allow them to treat themselves without breaking the bank to go to a clinic or break the law by using kratom. It can be accessible to everyone at a very cheap price. The only thing keeping that from happening is our government, our seemingly uneducated government at that, as they cannot even classify the drugs properly. And then it was like, I hope you truly consider what I'm saying.
Oh man, I was gonna say something. Fuck, you read something there. I was like, let me read that.
Okay. Password's 1 2 3 4 5 6.
Unsafe. Oh look, it's not.
Oh, the top
here we
one.
go.
Oh, okay.
What did you read? It was something. As we are low, dangerous things, keep kratom illegal. We can still offer more attractive. Break the law using kratom. Fuck, what was I gonna say?
Was it the heart thing?
No, it was like. I don't know. I can't think. I swear
There
to
it
God.
goes.
Yeah, I hate when that shit happens. Like, I swear to God, I had a fucking thought that I was gonna say and ask. No, I can't fucking think about it. It's cold, huh?
We need a heater, bro.
I can see my breath.
I can too. It's cold as a motherfucker out here. Let's look at the temp.
Yeah, you hear that, chat? The things we do for you people.
I'm about to take some kratom so I can warm up.
Yeah, me too. Fucking nausea, bro.
Wish I had some. Yeah, it's 40 out here. Damn, dude, it's gonna get down to.
It's gonna get done freezing.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it does. 28.
Yeah, we gotta leave the pipes dripping.
Yes, you do. That fucking video I sent you of me working in mold up to the ceiling was because those people did not leave their pipes dripping.
And they shit bursted.
Those sluts. Yeah, dude, they fucking.
Where was that? Louisiana?
That was in Memphis.
Oh, that's right. That shit.
Yeah, we didn't even have masks, dude, because we didn't expect it to be that bad. And then we were all a little bit too lazy to go get some
I
masks.
was gonna say, did you guys breathe that shit?
Yeah, I asked the old man, like I was working with this old dude. Funny, one of the funniest people I've ever met. Fucking old and just hilarious. But,
Is he white?
yeah, I was like, do you need, like, are you comfortable being in here without a mask? He's like, I don't give a fuck. I was like, alright, I don't care either, we're good.
Yeah.
And then my boss, he was like, I got masks back at the hotel, but that's like 15 minutes away. And then all of us were like, it's not worth it. I don't feel like doing that.
Was it black mold? Or just mold?
Who fucking knows?
What are y'all doing there? Just cleaning it up?
Nah, not cleaning that
Okay,
shit up.
yeah.
I'd do just moisture mapping. So I'd prong the walls with some equipment and it reads how much moisture is in the drywall, so I can tell them what to tear down, and that's about it.
Too much moisture, you gotta tear it down?
tear it down or put dehumidifiers in there, but the company we were working for was just like, we're just gonna tear it down and replace it.
Was it a house or apartment?
Apartment complex, 2 of them.
Damn.
Only one of them was that bad. The other one, I guess they had better insulation. People were more prepared. There was one in there that was actually legitimately dangerous to be inside of, and I was just like, all right, we gotta get out of here. And then my boss was just like, all right, don't go back in there.
Yeah.
Cause like the ceiling was literally fucking caving in. And I was just like, yeah, that's not worth it.
Man, what the fuck was I gonna say? That's on my mind right now. Like,
Just read the whole thing again?
Maybe read the last part. Hold on.
Yeah, just read the whole thing again.
Let me see. There's one reason 1 out of 5 states. Are we 1 out of 5 states?
Yeah, it would be 6 if you count Washington D.C. It's illegal there, but they're not really a state.
Say fuck them. Some people abuse it. However, that isn't the point. People use alcohol. But it's weird.
I actually did get a good response from one of them. He said he could have been bullshitting, but he was like, he asked me what district I was in, and I told him, and he was like, all right, I'm going to talk to your senator over there, and we'll get back to you. So hopefully he meant that, and I could actually have a conversation with him about it. And hey, I made it sound like this is some selfless thing. It's not. It's selfish as fuck. I just want to be able to do kratom legally. That's it.
I mean, of course,
I'm just pointing out all the benefits of doing it, so they have a play with their political voters and shit. But for me, I just want to take kratom. Period. That's all I want. That's it.
The only thing that comes to my mind right now, about what I was gonna say, is that we should go out and just like start not picking it, but like just get on the soapbox and like, oh fuck.
We'd be one of maybe 8 people who even know what kratom is here. I bet if we walked down the street and asked 100 people, I'd be surprised if 10 of them knew what it was.
Croton. I don't know. I feel like if we went around with a boombox and like the government doesn't care about you. They want you to get addicted to all these other opioids when you can easily help yourself out to some.
Oh, you want to know who kind of got kratom illegal here? Was a doctor who has a very high rate of prescribing opioids, and that's actually not like bullshit.
Really?
I can't remember his name right now.
Oh,
I'm sure I could find it.
Hamilton did say that's the reason why they legalized it, because like.
Well, they did. That's why it happened in its native countries in Thailand, but it happened for the same reason here in Arkansas.
Right.
This dude basically wrote a letter saying that it has abuse potential, that it's a dangerous opioid, just a bunch of fucking bullshit. Everything has abuse potential, so you can't really, that's such horseshit to me, but yeah, for sure. But he was saying it's dangerous, it could kill people. Anything can kill anyone. Like water can kill people, so that's not really a valid argument to me either. And it was basically just a bunch of bullshit, but he's out here prescribing oxycodone at very high rates, so it's just like, yikes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very corrupt. Very, very sick. That shit pisses me off, especially when I get drunk.
Drink one more beer and call it a night on the cast.
I'm down.
What other drugs you want to talk about, man? I'm feeling drunk, feeling loose.
Fuck, we're supposed to talk about DMT, ayahuasca, peyote, all that shit.
Okay, so DMT and ayahuasca are the same thing.
Are they really?
Yes, so DMT is not orally active because of monoamine oxidase, and there's a little something that many people online don't seem to know is that monoamine oxidase isn't just in your gut, it's also in your brain. It's kind of like a vacuum in your brain. It gets everything out of there that's not really supposed to be in there, which is why the smoked DMT experience doesn't last very long. It's because of monoamine oxidase, but you can smoke a smokable psilocin ester type thing and it will still last 5 to 6 hours because it has a hydroxy bond at the top of the molecule that effectively blocks monoamine oxidase from destroying the molecule.
Sure.
And so even in your brain, the monoamine oxidase can dramatically affect the duration of the experience. But ayahuasca is brewed with 2 vines, or it's supposed to be. Some shamans, shady ass shamans in my opinion, will throw other shit in there. But hold on.
You're left-handed, huh?
Yes, sir.
I forget that sometimes.
Yeah, left-handed, man.
You do anything right-handed? Anything at all you can
Play guitar, right-handed.
Yeah.
I shoot a gun left-handed. It may just be play guitar.
I have a buddy, Jack. He's right-handed. Ah, fuck. I forget what he plays golf with the other hand.
Really?
Yeah, it seems like people do shit with their left hand or right hand.
Most of the mundane shit, like opening doors and car doors, I do with my right hand.
Yeah.
But that's because it's fucking set up for right-handed people.
Gosh, I'll run diapers.
You do? Are you about to go piss again, bro? My God.
Yeah.
Come back with 3 drugs, each from a different class that you want to talk about.
Okay.
I will be surprised if this man even knows what class of drugs are. Let's see if he can come back with something. Otto, I'm just going to say it. This beer's kind of dookie in the drawers. It's a little dookie. Slightly dookie. If I was on Kratom, I'd tell you it's the best beer.
So let's see. This peyote is one of them.
Okay?
What's that called? Psychedelics?
Yeah, we'll call it a psychedelic. Even though psychedelic isn't really a class of drugs.
Think about some Xanax, dude. Why are so many people addicted to that shit?
It's very easy to get addicted to and very hard to quit safely.
But, I don't know. We have one classmate. I won't, out him.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like, he had seizures from trying to quit,
Yeah, quitting cold turkey can kill you with alcohol, Xanax, and anything that... this is actually interesting about Ambien, is that I have not read any reports of people dying from Ambien withdrawal, even though it activates the same part of the brain that Xanax and alcohol do, so that's very interesting. But no, any barbiturate, benzodiazepine, whatever class alcohol technically falls into, they'll kill you if you quit cold turkey after abusing it. But you don't even have to abuse Xanax, man. If you take Xanax as prescribed, which is usually 3 times a day, for 15 days, you run a much higher risk of having a seizure upon quitting. It only takes 15 days. That's it. And then if you quit cold turkey after years, it's basically guaranteed you're gonna have a seizure and you may just fucking die. Yeah.
What do you get prescribed for? Anxiety?
Yeah, and sleep.
Man, it all feels like a cash grab. I don't know.
I mean, I don't feel like there should be a problem with prescribing people addicted to drugs.
No, but it's like you make some legal, you make others, legal to have.
No, that part's absolutely true. Even though it doesn't make any sense because there would be a lot more usable cash to the government if they were all legal. Like a lot more.
I think it's interesting when they talk about peyote, how it was on the TDC podcast. It was like, if you, what's it called, not worship, but see a drug as something spiritual, you can have it, but if it's recreational, you can't. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Peyote, peyote, in Japan, they think it's this nice, beautiful cactus with pink and white flowers, so they have
It's a beautiful cactus, dude. Have you ever seen it?
I don't think so. Maybe
Passing
once. Passing.
Well, you've never seen it in the wild, I know for sure.
What's salvia? Salvia psychedelic?
That's why I don't like the word psychedelic. Salvia is actually a opioid that causes hallucinations.
I remember them talking about how that shit's in Oaxaca, where my mom was from.
Yes, it is in Oaxaca. I did not know your mother was from there.
We've brought this up before. Every time I say she's from Oaxaca, you're like, oh.
Salvia.
Salvia.
That's peyote, man. It's fucking beautiful. That cactus right there is probably 30 years old.
Yeah, I remember them saying this forever. You got the grandfather peyotes.
Yeah.
And when you
show
can eat it raw. It looks like a fucking orange, bro. Like it's meant to be eaten.
Yeah, that's well, the reason it doesn't have spikes is because of the mescaline. Mescaline tastes fucking horrendous. It tastes like MDMA, like something you really don't want to eat unless you have a reason to eat it. And so deer and all these animals would bite a peyote and spit that shit out and be like, all right, I'm never eating that again.
Yeah.
And that's why peyote's really still around without having the spikes on it that other cacti do. But salvia contains a drug called salvinorin A, and it is the most potent naturally occurring drug ever discovered. It is about 80 times as potent as DMT.
You ever done it?
No, I will at some point, I'm sure.
I read DMT
but
once.
It's, yeah.
You remember that
I've
shit?
done it like 4 or 5 times.
I think one time you did it with me. We were at not Pinnacle.
Emerald.
Emerald.
Yeah.
You said it wasn't like good though.
Yeah, I didn't really,
Blast off.
I didn't even really have anything go on. I'm not convinced that was DMT. I could have just smoked sugar. You never know. But
I remember the whole time though. You had your eyes closed and I was just sitting there like this. Look, I was like this. Because I was like, I'm not trying to trip dicks off right now.
it smelled like burnt plastic in there.
It smelled a little bitter.
Yeah, that's what DMT smells like. It's like burnt plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, no, see, I wouldn't recommend anyone to do DMT.
Really?
Just do mushrooms. It's just 4-hydroxy-DMT.
Joe Rogan said he never did it, huh? He's never done it.
DMT?
Yeah.
No, he loves DMT.
I swear to God, he said.
No, he's talked about doing it 4 times in a night and having a rough time for about a week.
People say it feels like you're dying, huh?
Yeah, it's
Do other drugs do that? Do other drugs make you feel like you're dying?
fucking cannabis has made me feel like I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
for sure.
I heard that.
It has definitely made me feel like I'm dying. LSD's made me feel like I'm dying. But no, DMT doesn't make you feel like you're dying. It makes you feel like you died.
Yeah.
Like, especially like the first couple. I haven't done it enough to really have like a meaningful opinion on its subjective effects, but I remember the first time or 2 times I did it, my first thought was definitely, it's like, oh, you did it, you're dead. And then you start kind of piecing it together. It's like, well, I just thought that I'm dead, so I may not be dead. And then everything starts coming back to normal, and you're like, whoa. And you do it again, and the whole thing happens again. And like, yeah, it's a weird drug, but I mean, to me, there's just too much risk with it. Like, it's so out of body and disorienting that a lot of people give themselves 3rd-degree burns on their legs from the pipe.
Damn.
People have died by falling and drowning or falling and inhaling sand.
And they really die.
Yeah, like, so some, like, DMT carries a lot of risks that mushrooms don't, and you essentially get the same experience in a less intense and stressful way. So usually I just tell people, it's like, if you have any interest in doing DMT, just do mushrooms, because that's DMT. Now ayahuasca, on the other hand, I should say smoke DMT. I would not recommend smoke DMT. But ayahuasca, you have Psychotria viridis, which is a plant whose leaves contain DMT. And then you have the Banisteriopsis caapi vine, which contains a monoamine oxidase inhibitor. So you inhibit the production of the thing that destroys the DMT molecule in your stomach and in your brain, so you can have like a 6-hour, not so intense experience compared to smoke DMT. So I would recommend, if you want to do DMT, do ayahuasca. I mean, it's not hard to make or do at all. I mean, you can order both plants online. You may have a little hard time getting the Psychotria viridis because DMT is illegal here, and people have gotten arrested just for having the B-caapi vine, even though it doesn't have any psychoactive substances in it. So it's not necessarily the best, but if you can get like DMT, which is like freebase, like the powder people smoke, just get a harmaline, like a order of a monoamine oxidase inhibitor. A lot of those are legal and easy to find and purchase, so you could just combine those two and just make, it's called pharmawaska. It's the same thing, but you're just doing it synthetically with drugs made in a lab or extracted DMT, you know? But no, salvia, I have curiosity, but I may do it, I may not, just because it's a very powerful 15-minute insanity. So it's not like, I would probably chew the plant leaves before I ever smoked it. That's what they do in Oaxaca. They chew up the plant leaf instead of smoking the leaf.
Is it the same though? Like, do you get the same?
Yeah, you still get trippy. It's still. Whoa. Hello. Is that just the wind?
I think so.
About to have to beat somebody up out here, bruh.
Jesus, that's crazy.
It is pretty windy outside.
Coming to our office like that.
Yeah. But no, salvia is pretty interesting.
Is it still legal? Salvia?
It's legal in like 15 states. Mostly on the West Coast, definitely not in Arkansas now. On the West Coast, like Oregon, Washington, Cali. I'm sure it's illegal in Colorado. Maybe legal down. Tianeptine's legal in Florida. They don't really care down there. Yeah, they'll have tianeptine right next to the kratom. That's hilarious. Shit makes me laugh, dude.
They were talking about one drug on the podcast, like ibogaine.
Ibogaine?
Yeah.
Oh shit, dude, I'll go hard with ibogaine.
What's ibogaine? Like they were talking about it, how it's. Fuck, what were we talking about it? I can't remember.
It's probably the closest thing to like a miracle drug that we know of right now.
Yeah.
Because there's literally almost nothing that it doesn't do. So you have the first off, so you know what Wellbutrin is? It's an antidepressant that has this weird effect to help people stop smoking, and it does that by agonizing. I'm pretty sure it agonizes it. It agonizes it. The
I remember the
alpha 3 beta 4 nicotinic acetylcholine receptor, and that kind of kills your smoking cessation.
I remember the context we were talking about, like how it helps people with their addiction. Yeah.
But see, that's what I'm saying, because that mechanism I just named that it has is only shown to help with nicotine addiction and just the specific smoking thing. Like, you know how people who quit smoking, they're always like, I want to smoke CBD or something just to do the action of actually smoking something. But that kills that part of the craving. But then you have, it also agonizes the serotonin 2A receptor, which is what LSD, mushrooms, DMT, and all those do. And they have anti-addictive properties that are pretty well recorded as well. So you combine both of those, but it also antagonizes the NMDA receptor, which is what ketamine and PCP and nitrous do. So you have all three of those wrapped up. Some of its active metabolites are opioids that partially agonize opioid receptors to kind of give you that, get rid of that craving. But the most impressive thing, on top of all of that's impressive anyway, because NMDA antagonist and 5-HT2A antagonist, or agonist, I mean, both of those treat depression, they treat OCD, they treat a lot of shit pretty effectively that deals with mental illness. And then you have the nicotinic agonism, which causes the ending of the smoking cessation, but it also releases this thing called glial-derived neurotrophic factor, GDNF.
Okay.
And GDNF is one of the only things we've discovered that rebuilds the dopaminergic neurons that Parkinson's destroys. And it's one of the most effective treatments for Parkinson's. So it can treat addiction through psychedelic fucking experiences. It can treat depression the same way. It can treat Parkinson's. It can treat OCD. It can treat a lot of shit. It used to be used as a pharmaceutical in France under the name Lambrine, and they were taking microdoses of ibogaine just to give them energy throughout the day.
I remember you said mini microdoses.
Yeah.
Like not even microdoses.
Yeah.
Smaller, yeah.
And so this, like, it can treat Parkinson's disease, it can treat addiction, depression, OCD, etc. But it is in Schedule 1 in the United States, and it's impossible to study here. So people who do you remember the story he told about his friend who went to do ibogaine to treat his heroin addiction?
He imagined the whole relapse.
Yeah, he hallucinated an entire relapse into heroin, and then I don't think he ever did it again.
Yeah.
And so it's an astoundingly powerful drug, but it does everything. It's a dopamine reuptake inhibitor. It's a serotonin reuptake inhibitor, which are the two most commonly prescribed antidepressant types in the world. It does all those other 5 things I said. So like this drug does all of it.
At once?
Yeah.
See, I don't know, I can't really wrap my head around that idea of it doing everything at once.
Yeah, that's why it's just an absurd drug.
Like you get stoned.
Yeah, and the molecule is so insanely complex. Like no chemist would have ever discovered this on accident.
It comes from a plant, doesn't it?
Yeah, the iboga tree.
It's like a 3D thing he said.
Yeah, so let me see if there's a PubChem link somewhere. Oh, here we go. So we can go to the 3D structure.
Damn, software like this is so fucking cool.
It is very cool.
Like somebody programmed that shit, dude.
Yeah.
Probably
And so like you can just see how insanely complex this fucking molecule is compared to something like meth, which I showed you earlier, that just basically has like just this right here.
Yeah.
But then this has a ring right here on the same plane, but it also has another ring at the top of the fucking molecule and then another at this angle.
Wait, you cannot make that like in a lab?
You can't synthesize it commercially, like basically in the amount of substance you would need to sell it to a big population. We don't know how to do that yet because it's just a fucking weird molecule. But there's a lot of shit like that. It's not just ibogaine. Like there's quite a few molecules we don't really synthesize commercially. We just extract from their plants and then modify them. But
Drugs.
what?
Plant drugs.
Yeah. But so that fucking drug is just out of control, dude. It needs to be studied more. It is toxic to your heart, so it's not something you want to do. It's only toxic in like high doses. It causes arrhythmias, just probably because the experience is so fucking absurdly intense that your heart just freaks out. But people have died from it. They probably had heart conditions already and then tried to go take a massive dose of ibogaine to treat one thing or another. But it's an insanely interesting drug for sure.
I thought the whole thing about Ambien was more interesting. Just cause I don't know. This seems cool, but Ambien sounds great.
Ambien's weird as fuck. It consolidates negative memories.
What the fuck does that even mean? I didn't know what that was.
So it's like
I don't know what consolidate means.
basically it makes them more memorable in a sense. Like you think about them more.
Bad memories.
Yeah.
Damn. Fuck that, no.
It's a weird drug, man, and people take it every day.
I remember when your dad whooped your ass that one time. Oh, that shit sucks. I would hate that.
Yeah, dude.
Remember when your mom beat your ass with a fucking wooden spoon?
Slipper?
Yeah, seriously, with a wooden spoon or a slipper. Remember when she told you not to move your hands? Remember when she told you to move your hands from your butt? Damn, that shit sucked, bro.
That's all you'd be thinking about.
Really?
Shit like, well, I mean, not literally everyone, but it has a connection to the consolidation of negative memories for sure.
My mom used to beat my ass.
But so does the shit that makes your hair grow back. What's that? Suicidal thoughts being like, it's rare that this happens, but god damn it.
Oh, he did like Ari Shapiro's on.
Yeah, the thing that helps regrow your hair back causes depression. A lot of it, yeah, it's fucking weird.
Drugs or something, bro.
Yeah, dude.
I guess they're chemicals, some of them are just chemicals.
Yeah, you want to see a really insane molecule, dude? See if we can find a pub cam. There we go. They don't even have a 3D rendition of it.
Like Ebola. No, I'm kidding. This is what I thought.
Hold on.
Damn, that's a lot.
Oh, it's absurd. Let me find this. Yeah, this is the largest toxin molecule ever discovered that is not like a protein. Isn't that wild, dude? So it's another example of something we probably just would have never created on accident.
Yeah. That's what I gotta do again.
You gotta go piss again?
Yeah, I gotta go see the doctor. Ugh, or someone.
You pissed one time, you've pissed like 6 or 7 times now. Dude, you left the door open, they can probably hear you pissing.
Yeah, they know I'm not taking it. They know that I'm not bullshitting.
Oh. What was the other drug you named? DMT?
Yeah, what do you ayahuasca, steroids?
I don't know anything about steroids.
What would they fall under? Just steroids? That whole class of
Yeah, like anabolic steroids.
I used to take Anavar.
What is that?
I don't know. I used to take it though.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure that's related to steroids in any way?
Yeah, because Flake sent me this one. Like,
Are you sure you're not thinking Dianabol?
the bottle said Anavar.
Anavar?
Look it up. I don't know. I swear to God, that's what the bottle said. And I used to take like 6 every day, 3 in the morning, 3 at night.
I mean, everyone's done steroids at some point.
Oh, it's N-N-A, one N. It's just one N and then V-A-R.
It's an anabolic steroid. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I took Dianabol when I was in college.
Yeah?
Yeah. Definitely made me.
What does that mean, though, anabolic steroid?
I think those are the ones that help you produce muscle mass quicker. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know much about steroids. Besides the fact that they're not as bad for you as you would think.
The whole making your balls small?
I mean, that's true if you abuse them.
Right.
It's just like any other drug. Like this dude came on Hamilton's Patreon and was talking to him about it, and he was just like, it's like any other drug, man. Like people only report the worst effects, the abusers, what they face, but just
stories.
yeah, just people who take it normally to just gain a little bit of muscle, they hardly ever face any consequences except maybe a raised heart rate. Yeah. So it's just another drug that fucking has scare stories attached to it by the people who are those crazy bodybuilders who die by the time they're 48, you know? Like,
yeah, but damn, do they look good? Damn, do
they really don't.
Damn, do they look
They
good?
don't. They look like they can fucking barely move.
Yeah, they're just like.
Yeah, they can barely move, dude.
But damn, when they flex them muscles, like, okay.
Yeah, everything is fucking going crazy whenever they flex. It is fucking crazy.
Okay, sure.
That the human body can look like that, engineered by drugs or not, like that's pretty wild.
You ever seen a thing like, we should have like an Olympic Games where
Everybody's roided.
PEDs are allowed? Yeah, just to see like what's the fastest we can run, fastest we can swim.
Or maybe we just allow PEDs to be legalized completely. I don't know if I agree with that or not. I'm just saying, like, maybe.
Why would you agree with it?
Because then it kind of becomes you would have to take steroids.
To be the best?
Not even to be the best, just to compete with the people on steroids.
I guess so. How come you never looked into it? You don't care? Steroids don't like the
It's
drugs
really
you would
just,
ever take?
yeah, I mean, it's more just like the psychoactivity of shit is really what interests me about pharmacology.
But they say roid rage, right? Like everybody's always talking about like roid rage.
That could be just so many factors not related to the drug. Like,
Oh, like it doesn't determine behavior.
or not even that, just like you feel a little more confident when you look like an animal, and just all these different psychological aspects of constantly lifting heavy weights, getting all testosteroned up,
That shit
fucking.
feels so good at working out.
Yeah, and imagine like you're taking anabolics, you're on a shit ton of testosterone, you're feeling good, you're throwing shit around, and some dude looks at you weird, and you're like, bitch, I'll fucking throw you across this goddamn room,
You
motherfucker.
don't see these muscles?
Yeah.
You don't see all this muscle mass I gained in a month? It's inhuman.
You can get SARMs pretty easily, which are basically anabolic steroids. So like the research chemical of steroids, you can get those legally.
Don't people get prescribed steroids though, like different types?
I have
like,
steroids up in my medicine cabinet at home.
For what?
I think they gave it to me when I had COVID,
Really?
or maybe when I had the flu. I'm not sure.
It's not anabolic though, because they're not like here, get jacked. You
No,
know,
it's just like this will rebuild everything faster and that, you know, that kind of shit.
When you told me that you never looked into steroids, I was like, I'm gonna be a steroids enthusiast.
Do it.
I almost went home and like Googled steroids 101 because I feel like if I just Google that.
You'd have at least some well of
Surface-
knowledge that I don't.
surface
We could
knowledge
talk
to
about
know,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, this is the ball that I have right here. It said Anavar in all blue text.
It looks like you can still buy it. You can.
Oh, yeah.
It's still legal.
It's a website, yeah.
Really? That's
Like,
interesting.
He sent me the link to a website that had a bunch of like different steroids, and I just read the different effects, and I was like,
It's
this one's-
impossible to ban every drug, man. Is Anavar hard on the liver? Let's see what that says. Yes, anabolic steroids can lead to irreversible damage to the liver. Yeah.
Yeah.
So can alcohol. Who cares?
I was gonna say.
What about the kidneys? It wreaks havoc on crucial filtration organs like the liver and kidneys.
Maybe that's why
It
I
says-
says so much.
It says Outlook India. The fuck do they know?
Indians, bro, they can be smart.
No, I'm
They can
saying
be
like what the.
scammers.
This is a magazine. This isn't like a.
Yeah, you can
Wait.
get a bunch of ads.
And it's also just like, oh my.
Oh, coupon. Here we go. Here come the ads, and then you can click that. Adobe.
Are there like any studies they have linked?
Bro, I hate ads so much. Like, I hate commercials. I hate advertisements. Like, anybody trying to sell me anything, I'm like, no fucking. I'm trying to watch YouTube, damn it.
See, this is bullshit. Here, legal Anavar alternative. Oh, it's like so they're bad for you, but you're fucking advertising for some, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I mean. That's why I was like, what the fuck do they know? I'm sure it wreaks havoc on your liver if you take an abnormal amount of it.
I was taking what the ball said, 3 in the morning and 3 at night. I forget how many like milligrams each one was. You get 180.
Did you notice anything?
Yeah, baby, these games, baby.
Like, did you feel stronger? Because that was the thing when I was taking steroids. The amount of weight I was able to lift increased very quickly.
Shit.
Like much quicker. It wasn't just like I took steroids one night and was benching 30 pounds more the next day, but it was just like the amount of weight I was able to like gradually add on was a lot like more consistent, just happening more often and easier to do than it was before I was like not on the steroids.
So I haven't, when I was working out and taking Anavar, I had on my phone I would like write down like how much weight I did every workout. I don't know this song because fuck me, but looking back, I guess I kind of did was like getting stronger more consistently. Like every week I would go up like 2.5 pounds.
Yeah.
So I guess so, yeah, 2.5 pounds. It doesn't sound like much, but like 2.5 pounds every fucking week.
Especially like with bench and squat or just really anything.
Right, just working out. Yeah. I guess I did see some results in that. Yeah.
Yeah, like quicker, a lot quicker than I saw without it for sure.
I was at a wedding when I was on it, and I told some friends that I was on it, and they were like, I was like, what the fuck do y'all know that I don't, bro? Like,
yeah.
Well, no, like, I mean, seriously, like, what do y'all know that I don't? Because, like, I don't know shit about fucking chemicals. I was just taking it because, Flake sent me that, man.
Yeah.
And I read the description. I was like, oh, like, this one's good for, like, you want to build muscle and lose fat. And that's what I wanted to do. So I was like, try this out.
Yeah.
But they made it seem like it was such a bad thing that I was on about, like,
It's probably because they don't know anything about the.
But they were bio majors in college.
Yeah.
So, their word,
okay, so
it seemed like their word was a little bit more than mine.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of concerned me about it. But no.
That doesn't necessarily mean they know anything about drugs, honestly.
Yeah, a degree. Especially a bachelor's degree.
Yeah. Well, even then, it's just like, how many pharmacology classes did they take in their bio major?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially at Hendrix.
Yeah, maybe like one.
It's a fucking liberal arts, so apart from your major classes, you gotta take like, fuck, what was the name of the class?
No way you were taking dumbass classes?
I'm trying to remember the name. It was like,
excuse me.
It was like gender and sexuality.
Oh, dude, they made you take that?
For my French major, bro. It was a requirement for my French major.
Are you serious?
Give me a French credit. Gender and sexuality.
That is retarded.
And the only reason it was a French major because I think one of the two French professors we had taught it. It was so stupid, bro. Oh god.
Oh no, dude, that's so dumb.
Here's one thing I remember. Fuck, what was it? Remember when Justin Trudeau did blackface?
Yeah.
Like 20.
Well, I remember when it came out. I don't necessarily know. Yeah.
I was there when he did it. It's like 2018, 2017, and at that point I was just taking like French 2, right? Mm-hmm. And one morning we come in, I forget how.
My bad.
I forget what, but it was like the girls were like. By the way, it was like 3 guys to like 12 girls, and the professor was a woman. And they were like, did y'all see that Justin Trudeau did blackface, this and that? And then the professor goes, but let's be honest, if it was anybody but Trudeau, we would be more pissed.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, he's so dreamy, he's so hot.
Really?
This and that.
That guy?
I don't fucking care.
That's hilarious.
Right.
I would have never guessed that.
Anyway, so I'm like, that's a little weird that you're all saying this about some dude that did blackface just because he looks good. He gets he gets to be prime minister still.
No, dude,
And then
to me, it's just like, why preach what at the end of the day kind of comes down to ideology? Like, obviously, fucking gays and sex, like, those people should have the same whatever the fuck anyone else has. But what I'm saying is just like, why not just let people think how they're going to think and just fucking educate them on whatever they're there to study? Like, if I was taking a degree to learn French and have a French bachelor's degree, and I was learning about literally anything but like French history and like French art or just shit like that. Yeah. If they came up to me and was like, hey, we're taking a gender and sexuality class that spans over the world, it's like, I want nothing to do with that. That's not why I'm here.
So that happens in French too, right? Like my sophomore year. And then I'm taking this class during the COVID year, it's all remote. And I remember the professor being like, can anybody like think of like a double standard between the genders and this and that? And like immediately came to my mind, I was like, you bitches 2 years ago were saying that Justin Trudeau was anybody else doing blackface, y'all would be more pissed.
That's crazy.
I said that shit right. You know, I fucking did the whole, you know, I got something to say.
Oh, you told him?
I said it.
Oh.
And then the professor goes, huh, I don't remember that.
No way, dude.
For real, she's like, yeah. She goes, huh, I don't remember that. I'm like, I swear to God. You know,
I'm stoned to the gills, but I swear to God, I know you were high, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I would have had to get on everything to get through that class. Not even just like because I hate it. It would just be like, I'm at least going to make this bullshit enjoyable. I'm going to take some fucking kratom and just get drunk.
The other French class I took that year was like existentialism, which I guess, what's his name? Like, I don't know if you know existentialism.
I mean, yeah, isn't that...
Kendo, something like that. He was like a
Did that come from France? Okay, then that kind of makes sense.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, I just remember those two classes, and she was the same professor for both. And I swear she always just tried to make things about like the patriarchy.
So weird.
Yeah, and then I'm like, you guys remember when y'all were like, oh, Justin Trudeau, he looks so good, you know, we'll forgive him doing blackface. But I feel like if it was an ugly ass butt fuck dude who did blackface, y'all would be on it. Y'all would be like,
oh yeah,
cancel
like
this
if
guy.
Trump would have done it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They would have been like, oh, that's awful. But they were like, Trudeau looks good, so he gets away with it.
Yeah.
And she was like, huh, I don't even remember that, but that's a good point. I'm like,
She remembers it, bro. She's just fucking not on tenure yet.
Right, yeah, exactly. She's like, whatever.
Once she gets tenure and can't get fired, she'll be saying that shit all the time. It's like, yeah, I remember that. Fucking
yeah,
shit.
He's hot as shit. He can fucking come out and say some of the most racist, benign shit. Which I guess is blackface. I don't know. That shit kind of upset me though. I was like, man.
Yeah.
It's not cool. How do we get to this? I thought we were talking about drugs.
Who knows, dude?
Ooh, drugs. We're on them right now. Can't believe she did that shit though.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm
I'm about to light myself on fire, dude. It's so cold. I swear to God.
It's like below freezing now. Yeah, folks, remember since your pipes are dripping, the last frost one was like a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Here in Arkansas, remember? We didn't set our pipes dripping, and like our hot water didn't run at all for a day.
No.
I know.
That sucks, dude.
I had to take a little.
At least nothing burst.
No, but like.
Glenn's apartment had a burst in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I tried to get the company to get a fucking contract over there, but we didn't know who the restoration company was.
I had to put a pot of water on the stove and boil it so I could take a warm shower.
For 2 seconds?
What do you mean 2 seconds?
What'd you do with the pot of water?
No, like I took a pot of water, boiled it, heated it up, cause I didn't have any hot water.
I know.
Yeah, so then I showered with like a cup.
Oh my God.
Yeah, showered with the cup, you know.
No way, you can't just take a cold shower, bro.
I ended up taking a cold shower. I was out of hot water and I was like, damn, I gotta rinse it because I still had like shampoo and soap on me. I was like, damn, there's no.
Cold shower's nice every now and then.
I know.
Especially in the morning, dude. You get fucking zipped up in there and you're like, oh shit, man. I'm ready to go.
I always finish my showers with cold showers.
Yeah.
Like I'll start off warm and stuff, comfortable, and then at the end of it, I'll just turn off the hot water and just get rinsed with cold water.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I do it because like it seals the pores, you know. I never had a problem with acne.
Yeah.
Every now and then I do get it, and I feel like, you know, just try to.
There's also evidence that taking ice baths and cold showers raise your baseline dopamine for the day. And if you do them consistently, it can be like a pretty long-lasting change in the baseline dopamine that you receive.
Yeah.
So you're kind of always in a better mood.
Maybe that's why I'm such a happy-go-lucky person. It's over. But then I started drinking, and it's fucking.
Did you know there's some people that their GABA A receptor doesn't fire correctly with alcohol? And they basically, the only thing it ends up doing is just releasing dopamine. So they drink and literally get more coherent.
They don't get drunk?
Not really. Not like we do. Like they function almost better.
Lucky.
Yeah. Only like, I think 3 to 5% of the fucking population has that. Like gene. It's a gene that does it. Who knows what gene.
They were talking about like gene analysis on the show. They're like saying how if you could do gene analysis on people who like are more prone to psychotic.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah. That'd be pretty good.
But I feel like that costs a lot of money. Well,
eventually it'll be just another area of study science wants to go in. Like, think about how much money it costs to build fucking experimental physics shit like the particle accelerator and fucking shit like the new nuclear fusion energy they've been making. Like, that probably costs tens of fucking trillions of dollars. They'll do it eventually with genes.
I don't know if it's weird. I don't know if I saw like an Instagram reel or some type of reel, YouTube reel maybe, It was like this guy. He was like saying like, oh, we shot lasers into this one thing.
Yeah, that's it.
And like the net it was like net.
They had a net positive of energy release from the core.
More energy release than they put in. That shit sounds interesting.
Yes.
I understand it, but like when I took
Oh, no one understands it, dude. Only like 8 people in the world understand that.
I was like,
and they're all working on that thing.
I was like, if what you're saying is true, then damn, that's pretty cool. Y'all got more energy.
I think what they're saying is true. Like, I religiously read this science magazine called Nature.com, and they had like 3 or 4 articles in there on it, explaining how it worked. I read it, didn't learn any of it. It was absurd. It had something to do. I'm gonna fucking butcher this, but it was.
I'll butcher it later when I explain it.
Yeah. It had something to do with them creating a magnetic field around this core that was very dense. And they shot lasers into it, but the magnetic field did something to make it release more energy. You know what? Let's just look it up.
I was gonna say, it sounds right.
Let's see if I can find those articles.
We here at SEB only speak the truth in facts.
We try to.
Only facts. Everything Mason just said, facts. Right?
Definitely not.
Here, while you look that up, I'm gonna go check the weather outside.
I kind of got to piss again too.
I didn't say I was gonna go pee.
I know you're going to though. Excuse me. What's China saying? Reinforces case against live nuclear test. They're out here talking shit, bruh.
About what?
China's out here talking shit, man.
About what?
The thing.
What were they saying?
How U.S. fusion breakthrough reinforces the case against live nuclear tests. Maybe I'm wrong, and I just have a...
Reinforces the case against?
That's what I... Yeah.
Live
But maybe we're retarded, and we just don't really like China. And they're saying, let's stop blowing shit up and just use this.
Is that what that means?
Well, it says live nuclear tests.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just like, let's stop doing the... we got the Guardian talking shit. Let's see if Forbes.
You think they'll ever put oil in business? I feel like some people are gonna die for that shit to go through.
I don't know.
Ooh. You got a Switch?
Yeah, man.
Bro, you gotta play some Mega Man X.
Dude, that game looks fucking retarded.
Dude, I don't know if you like platformers. Do you like platformers?
No, I don't.
Okay, well that means you're not a good gamer.
That means I enjoy more depth to my game.
Whatever. Platformers have Mega Man is one of the best. Mega Man X. Mega Man.
Does it have as much depth as like Red Dead 2?
Ooh, you mean a game that's like 162 gigabytes?
Yeah.
Probably not, because it's like only like 5, 6, 7 gigabytes needed to make that game. But like for its time and for what it is.
Well, I don't care about for its time. I'm playing games right now, bruh.
I'm trying to get that. Look at Mega Man.
Maybe it was on this website. I'm trying to find the article I read where the dude was talking crazy about the... Read through that article if you find anything crazy. I got pissed so bad I can't even think.
What's crazy?
Yeah, dude.
That's fucking insane, bro. Let me look on this. Dude, look at that fucking clickbait, bro. That's so stupid.
Jennifer Lopez, Arkansas program.
Right, just cleavage on the screen. Yes, please. Okay, this is what this is. It's titled Nuclear Fusion Breakthrough. What does it mean for space exploration? Here, we're gonna put the screen on just so y'all can read along, because I'm not a good reader. The announcement this week of fusion ignition is a major scientific advancement, one that is decades in the making. Fusion ignition? Chat, make sure y'all look up what fusion ignition means. More energy was produced than the laser energy used to spark the source control fusion. See, yeah, it has a good opening. Yeah, more energy was produced than the laser energy, so...
There was one article I read where they were quoting one of the guys who worked on the team.
Let's put this little fucking temptation out of sight. Yeah.
And the dude said...
offensive.
Just do misleading.
It's very offensive. I have a girlfriend. I'm not trying to see no titties on the screen. It's against my will. Wait, what were you saying that before?
There was an article I read where the guy from the team was explaining how it worked. And he said some outrageous shit.
That video looks like it. Yeah, because he has like the little model of the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like saying like there's like such a small cylinder and inside like a smaller sphere, and they didn't shoot directly into the sphere, but they shot at the like fucking cylinder around the sphere, and some Houdini that they did led to more energy than they gave, which that sounds fucking.
What do we got here?
That's more titties.
Where?
I'm kidding. No, they can see our screen.
Yeah.
I put it on the screen so chat can read along. I saw that one.
We're getting into space shit now. Earth-sized planet has been spotted orbiting a new nearby star at a distance that would make it not too hot and not too cold, comfortable enough for life to exist.
Imagine we like inhabit other planets and we still make drugs illegal.
Yeah, imagine we're sending colonies to Mars, but people can't do cocaine in their basements.
Make sure you don't take this, and this with you. Oh man, if I was one of those people going like, fuck, what are you gonna do? Come all the way out here? They're gonna come out here and tell me I can't smoke weed? Fuck that.
Imagine, like, walking into your buddy's little fucking room on your Mars thing, and he's just in there shooting up heroin.
I'm like, bro,
You're out here getting lit.
I was like, bro, you got any more of that? He's like, yeah, man, I brought some poppy seeds.
That would crack me up, man.
I'd be like, hell yeah.
I'd be the one doing it. If I'm going to Mars, then I'm getting high, bro.
Yeah. Fuck, dude, I would have maybe like an
And I wouldn't even
crisis, maybe.
I wouldn't tell anyone my plan, because then they like wouldn't let me on the team. But like you said, I get out there and it's like, what now? You got to send me home?
Yeah,
I'm out here doing cocaine, getting lit on Mars, bro.
The Space Force comes out there. They got a Space Force now, I think.
Dude, imagine someone dedicated their entire life to doing that just for that reason. Just to say you were the first person to do cocaine on Mars. I literally did cocaine on Mars.
It's like before you land, you're like just staring at the window like, whoa, and like you hear somebody behind you.
Here we go, boys.
And yeah, the guy he's like, oh my god, I'm so ready. Yeah, dude. I mean, that would require so much willpower. Like, I don't know if I could not tell you, like, hey, you know what I'm gonna do when I get there. You know what I'm fucking do the first thing I'm gonna do when I get there? I'm gonna take out a joint. You know I'm getting high as fuck.
Just making the entire little unit of livings just reek.
I would be the first Joey Diaz of that family. Motherfucker.
Just getting them around the fucking dining room and the thing, just telling stories.
I would probably eat up every supply of food we had. I would probably doom us. Honestly, it's probably a better idea just because I would doom us all.
How about just take stuff out there that doesn't make you want to eat? Like heroin. Kratom. Like kratom, like cocaine.
Like, yeah, you guys go on hell after a little bit.
Or just snort it. Just get in there and be like, look, we got a dust storm coming in. We're not going to be able to leave for 3 days. I'm doing heroin.
We're fucking light years away from Earth right now.
I'm just going to have to get over it.
By the time people on Earth find out, I'm like 10 years older. It's like, don't worry, nobody's gonna know for a while.
It's like, even if they did, what are they going to do? Are they going to wait?
They're going to protest me from Earth?
Yeah.
What if I say something racist up here? What, they're going to start fucking protesting, canceling Mars?
Imagine being in the only situation where you could actively tell the FBI and like all these people, it's like, what are you going to do? It's like, we heard you trafficked a Schedule 1 substance across the solar system to Mars. So do something about it.
Yeah, where's the rule book? Y'all haven't come up with the rules yet. If anything, I'm saying the president right now.
Everyone does heroin.
And right now, the Supreme Court of Mars is just me. So come and judge me.
Dude, that would be so lit.
Yeah.
One thing I think that would freak me out, I've actually thought about this a lot. Imagine doing acid in space.
Oh, yeah. So I mean,
That would be fucking freaky.
A crisis, bro. I would have an extra, like, bro, like, what am I? Like, am I just another fucking, I'm nothing.
No, like imagine staring into literally nothing.
Yeah, you have a whole ass suit keeping you alive.
Yeah, like you see a star like way over there, and then you look back at the Earth and you're just like, whoa. That would fucking make me go crazy.
Like somewhere.
It would either do that or just be the most enjoyable thing ever. Just be like,
I would have to
this
enjoy
shit's
it. Like,
crazy.
I would absolutely be able to freak myself out. Like, I know I could either approach it being like, whoa, I'm nothing, or I'd be like, whoa, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like all.
Imagine just a low oh, you've never done mushrooms, but just imagine like a low dose of shrooms just out there zooted, just like, goddamn.
You trying to put your headphones on? Goddamn, I should put them on before the suit, damn it. Anyways, it's pretty cool.
Dude, we may have to fucking become billionaires just so we can go up to space and.
That's our only reason for making money.
Of course.
Hey, man.
Dude, imagine being able to say you went to space, did fucking whatever drug and came back.
They arrest you immediately.
It'd be retarded.
Yeah, I would land in Oregon. I'm like, they're like, wait a minute, there's no space station in Oregon. I'm like, you guys trust me? You guys trust me? I need to land in Oregon.
Or you just do it and just throw it out there. And just let some other race discover heroin in our atmosphere and then be like, what the fuck?
Where did this come from? Based off its trajectory, it came from Earth. You guys, please, can we land in Oregon, please?
That's so funny.
Oh, shit. How are we not writing any of these jokes down? These are some good jokes. These are some good bits right now.
They are. I'm thinking I'm going to make a bunch of shorts of this episode.
Yeah.
And just post them.
I'm down, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man, if you ever need help editing, I always, I get off work tired of shit, but...
I can give you the login password because you can just make shorts on your phone. Just find funny pieces and push like 5 buttons and it's posted.
Yeah, I can do it from my account, huh?
Yeah.
Boost our numbers for like 0.001.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, no, you'd probably be at least 20 or 90% of our total viewers.
You see this fucking flashlight ad that's been just recorded?
Yeah, dude.
It's like, I don't think it's that good.
Damn it, dude. The fuck were we just talking about? Oh, I think we have like 600 views total on our thing.
I just hope people are finding it interesting and like funny. Yeah, just those two really, because like interesting and funny, you want people to be invested in it. We also want them to, remember to laugh, remember to, it's...
As much as I was shitting on this beer, it was kind of the perfect potency for this.
For you fucking piece of shit, you drank before this, you should have told me. Damn, bro.
It's alright.
Yeah, and that's like the little period we didn't post anything, huh? We didn't make anything. Yeah.
It's like when we're posting, at least on this graph that doesn't represent too much, fucking, we do alright. And that's like per day, so.
Dude, okay, so I'll be scrolling through YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
And it'll be other people trying to start a podcast, and I dislike that shit.
No way, dude.
I hate it. Because I'm like, what the fuck are you guys trying to do? No, it's like in this podcast, they're trying too hard. They're like, it's like 5 dudes.
Oh, that's annoying, dude.
Yeah, it's like,
that is
4 or 5
annoying.
dudes, and they're like all cracking the same fucking joke. Like, oh yeah, this and this. Like, oh yeah, this and this. It's like, you guys are just fucking repeating yourselves. It's like, you are just jerking each other off.
No, the ones with the big groups are annoying.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's either it needs to be 2 to max 3 people, or 1 person just talking about something cool.
Because like, I don't know, I feel like if you do more than that, it's like fall into like a stereotype of podcast. You hear like the one loud, trying to be funny guy.
Yeah.
The one who like knows what he's talking about. The one cool guy. The one girl.
One cool guy rolling his eyes.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, it's safe. Oh. Yeah, you have the one female. We need a female.
Get Sarah in here.
No, we need somebody who's not our girlfriend. Just so we don't have any biases, so we can argue with them all we want. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up.
Just get Trevor and his next girlfriend in here. Just talk to them like that equally.
Trevor used to come on here. He said he was gonna come on here. He's never had. I haven't seen that motherfucker in like forever either.
Why? Just go over there.
We'll talk about this off cast. I'm not about to fucking say all this on camera.
Oh, dude. I think the only thing we actually need is a good camera and just someone to control the computer. Because I left it on that flashlight ad for like 25 minutes.
I was gonna say, yeah, me too. I was kind of watching it. I was like, no way it looks
so
like
we need
that.
someone in here.
Fucking
Get fucking like some guy from high school we know who never amounted to anything and just try to get him in on. Even if we don't like him, it could be that weird fucking.
Who could it be though? Name some guys from high school.
Remember that weird blonde kid who's kind of chubby? I don't know his name. He was just always real weird.
I was gonna say Tanner Soloway, but not Tanner Soloway.
That guy was pretty funny.
Yeah, he was always cool.
He's pretty funny.
Did he smoke cigarettes back then or something?
Dude smoked everything.
I was gonna say. That was my first thing. I'm like, you seem cool, but also seem like you do things you shouldn't be.
It's the things you shouldn't be doing right now.
Yeah, like we're in high school.
He definitely gives that vibe for sure.
Absolutely. I never like had a bad thought about him though.
No, dude's funny.
Also,
He did legitimately start a wildfire one time.
Where? Oh,
It was him and
Brendan died.
no, it was that Jared guy.
Jared.
Not like our Jared. There was like 3 Jareds. It was one of the other ones.
Jared. He was on the football team?
We used to have an extremely offensive nickname for him, and it's the only thing I can think of.
Oh.
But it is, I know it's close to his last name.
Starts with an A?
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to say that. His nickname was Jared Fagerson. There we go. Yeah, we got it.
How does it?
Dude, that's all I remembered when I just said his name.
Wait, you turned it up.
I turned it down for sure. But yeah, him and dude were smoking a joint when they were like 16, and they just threw it in the woods behind dude's house, and it caught all this pine needles and shit on fire, and it was like a legitimate hazard, I think.
Really?
For like a couple of hours until someone put it out. But
did you ever hear about me, Flake, and Hugo? I think
at Emerald, yeah.
And we were just blowing firecrackers out there.
Yeah. And you saw black smoke.
Yeah, we had like 5 minutes after we stopped, we was out there smoking and joking, and then I forget who, but somebody like hearing like crackling, like you know how firecrackers.
Yeah.
And then smoke rising. We're like, we haven't lit a firework in like 10 minutes. What's going on here? And we were like, all right, we gotta fucking go. We gotta fucking go.
I remember Hugo telling me they were just he was religiously just watching the news like.
Absolutely.
Fuck.
We got back to Hugo's house because we were at his dad's house. I think just
His dad would kill us. He would kill y'all.
Hinman was there. Hinman didn't go with us. I think Hinman was just like, I think he might have drank with us the night before. But Hinman was just like scrolling on his phone, and we were like, "Hey, anything interesting on there? Like, you see anything cool?" He goes, "No." And yeah, we were like looking at the news, local news. I don't think we started a fire. I think we might have burned some shit, but nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing got started. But we were so freaked out. I was the one driving back, dude. It was in my little. You remember the green bean?
No. Oh yeah.
Green bean.
Basically another one of the car you have now is green. Yeah.
Come on, now, I drive sick cars, dude. I drive bougie, nice cars.
I drive the most basic Toyota RAV4 that's on the market.
That's all you need, bro. That's what I used to drive. Are you kidding me? I used to drive a RAV4. What are you talking about? Sitting here, the cars.
Hey, it's 2019. It's got Apple CarPlay. It's got all of it, but it does not have heated seats. Doesn't even have automated seats. You got scoot that bitch back with the handle.
I still gotta roll down my windows. Anyways,
You do.
Anyway, I was the fucking one driving back, dude, and I swear everybody was a cop. Like everybody driving.
Y'all were high too, so it's just fucking out of control anxiety.
Keep going, like don't speed, just drive normal. I think normally do. I was like, okay. I don't normally drive like this. I don't normally drive like this.
Exactly, dude.
Okay.
Dude, fucking. Do you sit with your seat recline back real far?
Not too far, but I do have to kind of lean back a little bit when I drive.
Dude, I didn't notice. I guess I have my shit leaned back real far.
Yeah.
Seth got in the old truck I had, or the old car I had.
Pop's truck.
No. It was the one after that. Not the truck. It was a car. It was the Ford Edge, the white one. And so Seth got in there, and I guess sat back like he normally would, and just fucking
He just laid down.
and really hard, so it kind of shook the car. And he was like, "How the fuck do you drive like that?" And it's just like, I was like, I guess I just have my shit I'm tall as hell.
Exactly.
So I feel like I can just sit like this and have complete control of the steering wheel. Because I can drive with my knee.
I do that sometimes.
No, dude, I have a bad habit of just
I do it for fun sometimes though.
No, sometimes especially on long drives, my hands will just get tired. So I'll just sit there on the highway like this for an hour. and then I'll start driving again. Yeah, once shit gets calmed down.
Yeah.
Because you never need to make crazy turns on the highway. It's just you step on your toes to go right, you step on your fucking other toes to go left.
I feel like if I did, I would just fall asleep. If I didn't have my hands on the wheel, I would just be there nodding off. I'm basically at that point, I'm just sitting.
Yeah.
I do that. I do drive one in on curb, so I think that's the best time to do it. See if you can or can't. I always have my hands ready though. I always have my hands ready, in case I can.
Dude, I'll be just fucking chewing on my nails.
I wish I.
It's my dad's fault.
Look how dirty they are.
My dad did that, bro. He taught me the ways of driving with your knee.
Oh, I thought you were talking about chewing your
No,
nails.
I'll fucking. I remember one time, me and Seth were going to Chick-fil-A, and I was counting the money on the way there.
While driving with your knees.
Yeah. I'm retarded. Well, dude, one time you talked about falling asleep. One time, my company rented me damn near a completely self-driving vehicle. Like, it was fucking crazy. And it wasn't complete, but it would stop at red lights. It would slow down if cars were in front of you, speed up back to the speed you set it at if there was nothing going on.
Would it do turns and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pretty well. But if you left your hands off the steering wheel long enough, it'd start beeping at you. I put my knee on it. I swear to God, it drove me home, bro. Like,
Really?
I barely did anything. I was just putting my knee on it. And a couple times it'd beep and I'd just touch it and then it would stop. I could have watched a movie. I could have gone to bed as long as I would have just kept my knee there.
I don't know why it does that. I don't know why. Like, this just makes sure you're alive.
Or probably just like liability.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Their hands were on the wheel or it would have been beeping. They're just retarded.
Like, after an hour of not touching the wheel, we're like, hey, you still there? You still there, bud? It's like Netflix. Yeah.
It would do it like every 5 minutes.
Oh, every 5 minutes.
Yeah, like it's adamant about it. Like, put your hands on the wheel. But I found out my knee was like warm enough or whatever.
Yeah, enough pressure for it.
Dude, it was fucking crazy. Like, I would let go completely just to like I would have it like you were talking about with your knees earlier. Like, I'd have my hands here, but I would just let go of it and let it go around a turn, and it would just a little jerky, but it's like no one else is on the road.
Yeah.
So
That sounds nice.
it was sick, dude. It was a 5-hour drive too.
The
So
company you're with now or the company?
come down with now.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I would abuse that shit, bro. I would absolutely like bring a pillow and blanket to work. Cause when was it, Tuesday? They had me drive like 3 fucking hours out.
That's
3.5
nothing, bro.
hours.
Nothing.
I mean, I get, yeah, okay, so I get it. Where did you drive to? Oh, you've been to Memphis. You drive though? You don't play out?
I drove to Memphis. I drove to Tampa, Florida.
You drove to fucking Florida?
Yeah, but no, see, that's not even the worst part. That 13-hour drive it was annoying, but it was all right.
Sure.
Every single day, 2.5 to 3.5 hours to work, just to get to work. And then I would work 12 hours and then drive home.
2 hours more? The drive back was 2 more hours?
No, like I would work. Like, I was usually waking up at like 4. I'd get there at 8 sometimes, depending on traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would work until like 7:30 or 8. And then I would make that drive back home. And then just do it the next day.
You still work hard? Like, is it like...
No, it's not hard like that. Like, I'm not...
You do a lot?
I took like 16,000 steps one day.
Yeah,
Like, I did that kind of consistently.
Yeah.
But in terms of like labor, no, I'm not really doing much. Like, even that job where I was walking all over the place, literally my entire job was putting tape on top of storage unit doors and then taking a picture of the tape.
All day?
Yep. But I was walking around following the cleaning crew because they had to take everything out, clean the shit, put it back in, and just clean the empty units because this is from the hurricane. The roof got kind of torn off and all this water came pouring into the storage unit on units that didn't have roofs.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were basically just pulling everything out, cleaning it, and then the client or the customer would come in and fucking decide what they wanted or didn't and would throw away or keep, whatever. And my only job was just to take pictures. But I walked like 48 flights of stairs that day because it was a 3-story building. You know how it tracks that on the health app on there tracks it.
Yeah.
And so like I was going up and down, up and down, up and down, just taking pictures of the shit that was cleaned and removed, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And then, so like that was tiring. I'd break a sweat doing that, but I was never lifting anything heavy or like.
I take that. Let me see. Cause mine also does the same thing.
Yeah, like I bet I took like 18 steps all day today.
3,800 so far.
I have done nothing today.
What's the recommend? Like 10,000 steps?
Look at that. That's today.
Yeah, you got a little under half. I was lifting fucking that was a day though, which not probably like 20 pounds. Nah.
So like this was like since I've been back. That was Florida.
Damn, average, yeah.
And then that was also Florida. That was before everything really got rolling though. And then that was just, it was like that.
Experts say we get like 10,000 steps a day. I think so, 10,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that. Ready about call it a night?
I was gonna say we gotta pack shit up still.
Yeah, it was a good cast.
Absolutely.
We will see everybody in chat next week.
Should we like start dropping social? Nah, cause we don't even use social media.
I don't have any social media at
Let's see.
all.
Follow me on Instagram. _Otto_00_. Follow me on Twitter. KVO.
I'll do some shorts. I'll put a lot of shorts out
And subscribe.
and yeah, subscribe to the channel.
Smash that like button down.
There you go.
We're
All
not
right.
just- We're not just sitting here drinking for for our purpose. That's for y'all.
3, 2.